Act 1 of The Tempest by William Davenant and John Dryden. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Dramatis Personae.
Alonso, read by Algie Pug.
Antonio, read by Leonard Wilson.
Ariel, Aeolus, read by Libby Gone.
Caliban, Second Devil. Tethys, read by Alan Mapstone.
Dorinda, read by Marion Carwin.
Ferdinand, read by Eden Ray Hedrick.
Gonzalo, read by Bob Neufeld.
Hippolito and Cabin Boy, read by Lambda.
Miltra, First Devil, Amphitrite, read by Avai.
Miranda, Stephano, and Rapine, read by Elizabeth Klett.
Mustaccia, Third Devil, Neptune, read by Christine G.
Prospero, read by Bruce Peary.
Sycorax, Murder, Oceanus, read by Lucy Perry.
Trinculo and Fraud, read by M.B.
Ventoso, Pride, read by Frances Brown.
Narrated by Elizabeth Klett. Prologue. As when a tree's cut down, the secret root lives underground, and thence new branches shoot. So, from old Shakespeare's honored dust, this day springs up and buds a new reviving play. Shakespeare, who, taught by none, did first impart to Fletcher wit, to laboring Johnson art. He, monarch-like, gave those, his subjects, law, and is that nature which they paint and draw. Fletcher reached that which on his heights did grow, whilst Johnson crept and gathered all below. This did his love, and this his mirth digest. One imitates him most, the other best. If they have since outwrit all other men, 'tis with the drops which fell from Shakespeare's pen. The storm which vanished on the neighbouring shore was taught by Shakespeare's Tempest first to roar. That innocence and beauty which did smile in Fletcher grew on this enchanted isle. But Shakespeare's magic could not copied be, within that circle none durst walk but he. I must confess 'twas bold, nor would you now that liberty to vulgar wits allow, which works by magic supernatural things, but Shakespeare's power is sacred as a king's. Those legends from old priesthood were received, and he then writ, as people then believed. But if for Shakespeare we your grace implore, we for our theatre shall want it more, who by our dearth of youths are forced to employ one of our women to present a boy. And that's a transformation, you will say, exceeding all the magic in the play. Let none expect in the last act to find her sex transformed from man to womankind. Whate'er she was before the play began, all you shall see of her is perfect man. Or, if your fancy will be further led to find her woman, it must be a bed. Act 1, Scene 1. The front of the stage is opened, and the band of 24 violins, with the harpsichords and theorbos which accompany the voices, are placed between the pit and the stage. While the overture is playing, the curtain rises, and discovers a new frontispiece, joined to the great pilasters, on each side of the stage. This frontispiece is a noble arch, supported by large wreathed columns of the Corinthian order. The wreathings of the columns are beautified with roses wound round them, and several cupids flying about them. On the cornice just over the capitals sits on either side a figure with a trumpet in one hand and a palm in the other, representing fame. A little farther, on the same cornice on each side of a compass pediment, lie a lion and a unicorn, the supporters of the royal arms of England. In the middle of the arch are several angels, holding the king's arms, as if they were placing them in the midst of that compass pediment. Behind this is the scene, which represents a thick cloudy sky, a very rocky coast, and a tempestuous sea in perpetual agitation. This tempest, supposed to be raised by magic, has many dreadful objects in it, as several spirits in horrid shapes flying down amongst the sailors, then rising and crossing in the air. And when the ship is sinking, the whole house is darkened, and a shower of fire falls upon them. This is accompanied with lightning and several claps of thunder, to the end of the storm. Enter Mustachio and Ventoso.
Oh, what a sea comes in!
A foaming sea! We shall have foul weather.
Enter Trinculo.
The scud comes hard against the wind, 'twill blow hard.
Enter Stephano.
Boatswain.
Here, master. What say you?
Ill weather. Let's off to sea.
Let's have sea room enough, and then let it blow the devil's head off.
Boy. Boy.
Enter cabin boy.
Yaw, yaw. Here, master.
Give the pilot a dram of the bottle.
Exeunt Stephano and boy. Enter mariners and pass over the stage.
Bring the cable to the capstorm.
Enter Alonso, Antonio, and Gonzalo.
Good Boatswain, have a care. Where's the master? Play the men.
Pray keep below.
Where's the master, boatswain?
Do you not hear him? You hinder us. Keep your cabins. You help the storm.
Nay, good friend, be patient.
Aye, when the sea is. Hence, what care these roarers for the name of the Duke? To cabin, silence, trouble us not.
Good friend, remember whom thou hast aboard.
Not that I love more than myself. You are a counselor. If you can advise these elements to silence, use your wisdom. If you cannot, make yourself ready in the cabin for the ill hour. Cheerly, good hearts. Out of our way, sirs.
Exeunt Trinculo and mariners.
I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks his complexion is perfect gallows. Stand fast, good fates, to his hanging. Make the rope of his destiny our cable, for our own does little advantage us. If he be not born to be hanged, we shall be drowned.
Exit. Enter Trinculo and Stephano.
Up aloft, lads! Come, reef both topsails.
Make haste. Let's weigh, and off to sea.
Exit Stephano. Enter two mariners and pass over the stage.
Hands down! Man your capstorm!
Enter Mustachio and Ventoso at the other door.
Up aloft, and man your sea capstorm.
My lads, my hearts of gold, get in your capstorm bar. Ho up, ho up!
Exeunt Mustachio and Ventoso. Enter Stephano.
Hold on well. Nip well there. Quartermaster, let's get more nippers.
Exit Stephano. Enter two mariners and pass over again.
Turn out! All hands to capstorm! You dogs, isn't it time to sleep? Lubboard! Heave together, lads!
Trinculo whistles. Exeunt Mustachio and Ventoso. Mustachio within.
Our vials broke.
Ventoso within.
'Tis but our vile block has given way. Come, heave, lads, we are fixed again. Heave together, bullies.
Enter Stephano.
Cut down the hammocks. Come, my lads. Come, bullies, cheer up. Heave lustily. The anchor's apeak.
Is the anchor speak?
Is away.
Up aloft, my lads, upon the forecastle. Cut the anchor. Cut him. Hold cat, hold cat, hold cat, hold cat, hold.
Aft, and loose the mizzen.
Get the mizzen tack aboard. Whole aft mizzen sheet.
Enter Mustachio.
Loose the main topsail.
Let him alone, there's too much wind.
Loose foresail. Whole aft both sheets. Trim her right afore the wind. Aft, lads, and hail up the mizzen here.
A mackerel gale, master.
Port hard, port. The wind veers forward, bringing their tack aboard. Port is. Starboard, a little steady. Now, steady. Keep her thus. No, nearer you cannot come till the sails are loose.
Some hands down. The guns are loose.
Exit Mustachio.
Try the pump!
Exit Ventoso. Enter Mustachio at the other door.
Oh, master, 6 foot water in hold.
Clap the helm harder weather. Flat, in the foresheet there.
Overhaul your forebowling!
Brace in the larboard!
Exit.
A curse upon this howling!
A great cry within.
They're louder than the weather.
Enter Antonio and Gonzalo.
You again? What do you here? Shall we give o'er and drown? Have you a mind to sink?
A pox on your throat, you bawling, blasphemous, uncharitable dog.
Work you then, and be poxed!
Hang, cur, hang, you hoarse and insolent noisemaker! We are less afraid to be drowned than thou art.
Ease the forebrace a little.
Exit.
I'll warrant him for drowning, though thy ship were no stronger than a nutshell, and as leak as an unstaunched wench.
Enter Alonso and Ferdinand.
For myself I care not, but your loss brings 1,000 deaths to me.
Oh, name not me, I am grown old, my son. I now am tedious to the world, and that by use is so to me. But, Ferdinand, I grieve my subjects' loss in thee. Alas, I suffer justly for my crimes, but why thou shouldst? O heaven!
A cry within.
Hark! Farewell, my son, a long farewell.
Enter Trinculo, Mustachio, and Ventoso.
What? Must our mouths be cold, then?
All's lost. To prayers, to prayers.
The Duke and Prince are gone within to prayers. Let's assist them.
Nay, we may and pray too. Our case is now alike.
Mercy upon us! We split! We split!
Let's all sink with the Duke and the young Prince.
Exeunt. Enter Stephano and Trinculo.
The ship is sinking!
A new cry within.
Run her ashore!
Luff! Luff! Or we are all lost! There's a rock upon the starboard bow!
She strikes! She strikes! All shift for themselves!
Scene 2. In the midst of the shower of fire, the scene changes. The cloudy sky, rocks, and sea vanish, and when the lights return, discover that beautiful part of the island which was the habitation of Prospero. 'Tis composed of 3 walks of cypress trees. Each sidewalk leads to a cave, in one of which Prospero keeps his daughter, in the other Hippolito. The middle walk is of great depth, and leads to an open part of the island. Enter Prospero and Miranda.
Miranda, where's your sister?
I left her looking from the pointed rock at the walk's end, on the huge beat of waters.
It is a dreadful object.
If by your art, my dearest father, you have put them in this roar, allay them quickly.
I have so ordered that not one creature in the ship is lost. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my daughter, and thy pretty sister. You both are ignorant of what you are, not knowing whence I am, nor that I'm more than Prospero, master of a narrow cell, and thy unhappy father.
I ne'er endeavoured to know more than you were pleased to tell me.
I should inform thee farther.
You often, sir, began to tell me what I am, but then you stopped.
The hour is now come. Obey, and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came into this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wert not full 3 years old.
Certainly I can, sir.
Tell me the image, then, of anything which thou dost keep in thy remembrance still.
Sir, had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me?
Thou hadst, and more, Miranda. What seest thou else in the dark backward and abyss of time? If thou rememberest aught ere thou camest here, then how thou camest thou mayest remember too.
Sir, that I do not.
15 years since, Miranda, thy father was the Duke of Milan, and a prince of power.
Sir, are not you my father?
Thy mother was all virtue, and she said thou wast my daughter, and thy sister too.
O heavens! What foul play had we that we hither came? Or was't a blessing that we did?
Both, my girl.
But, sir, I pray, proceed.
My brother and thy uncle, called Antonio, to whom I trusted then the manage of my state, while I was wrapped with secret studies, that false uncle, having attained the craft of granting suits and of denying them, whom to advance or lop for overtopping, Soon was grown the ivy, which did hide my princely trunk, and sucked my verdure out. Thou attendest not?
Oh, good sir, I do.
I, thus neglecting worldly ends, and bent to closeness and the bettering of my mind, waked in my false brother an evil nature. He did believe he was indeed the Duke, because he then did execute the outward face of sovereignty. Dost thou still mark me?
Your story would cure deafness.
This false Duke needs would be absolute Milan, and confederate with Savoy's Duke to give him tribute and to do him homage.
False man!
This Duke of Savoy, being an enemy to me inveterate, straight grants my brother's suit, and on a night mated to his design, Antonio opened the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness hurried me thence with thy young sister and thy crying self.
But wherefore did they not at that hour destroy us?
They durst not, girl, in Milan, for the love my people bore me. In short, they hurried us away to Savoy, and thence aboard a bark at Nissa's port, bore us some leagues to sea, when they prepared a rotten carcass of a boat, not rigged, no tackle, sail, or mast. The very rats instinctively had quit it.
Alack! What trouble was I then to you?
Thou and thy sister were two cherubims which did preserve me. You both did smile, infused with fortitude from heaven.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine. Some food we had, and some fresh water, which a nobleman of Savoy, called Gonzalo, appointed master of that black design, gave us, with rich garments and all necessaries, which since have steaded much, and of his gentleness, knowing I loved my books, he furnished me from mine own library with volumes, which I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might see that man!
Here in this island we arrived, and here have I your tutor been. But by my skill I find that my mid-heaven doth depend on a most happy star, whose influence if I now court not, but omit, my fortunes will ever after droop. Here cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness, and give it way. I know thou canst not choose.
She falls asleep.
Come away, my spirit. I am ready now. Approach, my Ariel, come.
Enter Ariel.
All hail, great master. Grave sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to shoot into the fire, to ride into the curled clouds, to thy strong bidding task Ariel and all his qualities.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the Duke's ship, now on the beak, now in the waist, the deck, in every cabin I flamed amazement, and sometimes I seemed to burn in many places. On the topmast, the yards, the bowsprit, I did flame distinctly. Nay, once I rained a shower of fire upon them.
My brave spirit! Who was so firm, so constant, that this coil did not infect his reason?
Not a soul but felt a fever of the mind, and played some tricks of deception. All but mariners plunged in the foaming brine, and quit the vessel. The Duke's son, Ferdinand, with hair upstaring, more like reeds than hair, was the first man that leaped, cried, Hell is empty, and all the devils are here.
Why, that's my spirit. But was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
But, Ariel, are they safe?
Not a hair perished. In troops I have dispersed them round this isle. The Duke's son I have landed by himself, whom I have left warming the air with sighs in an odd angle of the isle, and sitting, his arms enfolded in this sad knot.
Say how thou hast disposed the mariners of the Duke's ship, and all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in harbour is the Duke's ship, in that deep nook where once thou calledst me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still vexed Bermuths. The mariners all under hatches stowed, whom with a charm joined to their suffered labour I have left asleep. And for the rest of the fleet, which I dispersed, they have all met again, and are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home from Italy, supposing that they saw the Duke's ship wrecked, and his great person perish.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. But there's more work. What is the time of the day?
Past the mid-season.
At least 2 glasses. The time twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me.
How now, moody? What is it thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Before the time be out? No more.
I prithee remember I have done thee faithful service, told thee no lies, made thee no mistakings, served without or grudge or grumblings. Thou didst promise to bate me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou dost, and thinkest it much to tread the ooze of the salt deep, to run against the sharp wind of the north, to do my business in the veins of the earth when it is baked with frost.
I do not, sir.
Thou liest, malignant thing. Hast thou forgot the foul witch Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgot her?
No, sir.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Speak, tell me.
Sir, in Argier.
Oh, was she so? I must once every month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgettest. This damned witch Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorceries too terrible to enter human hearing, from Argier, thou knowest, was banished. But for one thing she did, they would not take her life. Is not this true?
Aye, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reportest thyself, wast then her servant, and cause thou wast a spirit too delicate to act her earthly and abhorred commands, refusing her grand hests, she did confine thee, by help of her more potent ministers, in her unmitigable rage, into a cloven pine, within whose rift imprisoned thou didst painfully remain 12 years, within which space she died and left thee there, where thou didst vent thy groans as fast as mill-wheels strike. Then was this isle, save for 2 brats which she did litter here, the brutish Caliban and his twin sister, 2 freckled hag-born whelps, not honoured with a human shape.
Yes, Caliban her son, and Sycorax his sister.
Dull thing, I say so. He, that Caliban, and she, that Sycorax, whom I now keep in service. Thou best knowest what torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make wolves howl, and penetrate the breasts of ever-angry bears. It was a torment to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax could ne'er again undo. It was my art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made the pine to gape and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak and peg thee in his knotty entrails, till thou hast howled away 12 winters more.
Pardon, master, I will be correspondent to command, and be a gentle spirit.
Do so, and after 2 days I'll discharge thee.
Thanks, my great master. But I have yet one request.
What's that, my spirit?
I know that this day's business is important, requiring too much toil for one alone. I have a gentle spirit for my love, who twice 7 years has waited for my freedom. Let it appear. It will assist me much, and we with mutual joy shall entertain each other. This I beseech you grant me.
You shall have your desire.
That's my noble master. Milcha!
Milcha flies down to his assistance.
I am here, my love.
Thou art free. Welcome, my dear. What shall we do? Say, what shall we do?
Be subject to no sight but mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Hence with diligence. Anon thou shalt know more.
They both fly up and cross in the air. To Miranda.
Thou hast slept well, my child.
The sadness of your story put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on, I'll now call Caliban, my slave, who never yields us a kind answer.
'Tis a creature, sir, I do not love to look on.
But as it is, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetch in our wood, and serve in offices that profit us. What ho, slave! Caliban, thou earth, thou speak.
Caliban, within.
There's wood enough within.
Thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself upon thy wicked dam, come forth.
As wicked dew as ere my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fens, drop on you both. A southwest wind blow on you, and blister you all o'er.
For this be sure tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pen thy breath up, urchins shall prick thee till thou bleedst. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycombs, each pinch more stinging than the bees which made them.
I must eat my dinner. This island's mine, by Sycorax my mother, which thou took'st from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me, and madest much of me. Wouldst give me water with berries in't, and teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less, that burn by day and night. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the isle, the fresh springs, the brine pits, barren places, and fertile. Cursed be I that I did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on thee. For I am all the subjects that thou hast. I first was mine own lord, and here thou stayest me in this hard rock, whilst thou dost keep from me the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness, I have used thee, filth as thou art, with human care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honour of my children.
Oh, ho! Oh, oh! Would it had been done! Thou didst prevent me. I had peopled else this isle with Calibans.
Abhorred slave, who ne'er wouldst any print of goodness take, being capable of all ill. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or other, when thou didst not, savage, know thy own meaning, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish. I endowed thy purposes with words, which made them known. But thy wild race, though thou didst learn, had that in it which good natures could not abide to be with. Therefore wast thou deservedly pent up into this rock.
You taught me language, and my profit by it is that I know to curse. The red botch rid you for learning me your language.
Hag seed hence. Fetch us in fuel, and be quick to answer other business. Shruggest thou malice? If thou neglectest, or dost unwillingly what I command, I'll rack thee with old cramps, fill all thy bones with aches, make thee roar, that beasts shall tremble at thy din.
No, prithee, I must obey. His art is of such power, it would control my dam's god, Setebos, and make a vassal of him.
So, slave, hence.
Exeunt Prospero and Caliban severally. Enter Dorinda.
Oh, sister, what have I beheld?
What is it moves you so?
From yonder rock, as I my eyes cast down upon the seas, the whistling winds blew rudely on my face, and the waves roared. At first, I thought the war had been between themselves, but straight I spied a huge great creature.
Oh, you mean the ship.
It's not a creature, then. It seemed alive.
But what of it?
This floating ram did bear his horns above, all tied with ribbons, ruffling in the wind. Sometimes he nodded down his head a while, and then the waves did heave him to the moon, he clambering to the top of the billows, and then he curtsied down, so low I could not see him, till at last, all sidelong, with a great crack, his belly burst in pieces.
There all had perished, had not my father's magic art relieved them. But, sister, I have stranger news to tell you. In this great creature there were other creatures, and shortly we may chance to see that thing which you have heard my father call a man.
But what is that? For yet he never told me.
I know no more than you. But I have heard my father say we women were made for him.
What, that he should eat us, sister?
No, sure, you see my father is a man, and yet he does us good. I would he were not old.
Methinks indeed it would be finer if we had 2 young fathers.
No, sister, no. If they were young, my father said, we must call them brothers.
But pray, how does it come that we 2 are not brothers then, and have not beards like him?
Now I confess you pose me.
How did he come to be our father too?
I think he found us when we both were little, and grew within the ground.
Why could he not find more of us? Pray, sister, let you and I look up and down one day, to find some little ones for us to play with.
Agreed. But now we must go in. This is the hour wherein my father's charm will work, which seizes all who are in the open air. The effect of this great art I long to see, which will perform as much as magic can.
And I methinks more long to see a man.
Exeunt. End of Act 1.
How do you find this book? Any thoughts about the book or the author? Any suggestion for improvement? Please take a moment to share your thoughts in a comment. If you like it, share it with your friends who might enjoy it as well. Subscribe to keep in touch. Visit CompleteAudiobooks.com for more quality content.
Act 2 of The Tempest by William Davenant and John Dryden. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Act 2, Scene 1. The scene changes to the wilder part of the island. It is composed of divers sorts of trees and barren places, with a prospect of the sea at a great distance. Enter Stephano, Mustachio, and Ventoso.
The runlet of brandy was a loving runlet, and it floated after us out of pure pity.
This kind bottle, like an old acquaintance, swam after it, and this scallop shell is all our plate now.
'Tis well we have found something since we landed. I prithee, fill us up, and let it go round. Where hast thou laid the runlet?
In the hollow of an old tree.
Fill apace. We cannot live long in this barren land, and we may take a sup before death, as well as others drink at our funerals.
This is prize brandy. We steal custom, and it costs nothing. Let's have 2 rounds more.
Master, what have you saved?
Just nothing but myself.
This works comfortably on a cold stomach.
Fill us another round.
Look, Mustachio weeps. Hang losses as long as we have brandy left. Prithee, leave weeping.
He sheds his brandy out of his eyes. He shall drink no more.
This will be a doleful day with old Bess. She gave me a gilt nutmeg at parting. That's lost too. But, as you say, hang losses. Prithee, fill again.
Beshrew my heart, for putting me in mind of thy wife. I had not thought of mine else. Nature will shew itself. I must melt. Prithee, fill again. My wife's a good old jade, and has but one eye left, but she will weep out that too when she hears that I'm dead.
Would you were both hanged for putting me in thought of mine.
But come, master, sorrow is dry. There's for you again.
A mariner had e'en as good be a fish as a man, but for the comfort we got ashore. Oh, for an old dry wench, now I am wet.
Poor heart, that would soon make you dry again. But all is barren in this isle. Here we may lie at Hull, till the wind blow north and by south, ere we can cry, A sail! A sail! a sight of a white apron, and therefore here's another sup to comfort us.
This isle's our own, that's our comfort, for the Duke, the Prince, and all their train are perished.
Our ship is sunk, and we can never get home again. We must even turn savages, and the next that catches his fellow may eat him.
No, no, let us have a government, for if we live well and orderly, heaven will drive shipwrecks ashore to make us all rich. Therefore, let us carry good consciences, and not eat one another.
Whoever eats any of my subjects, I'll break out his teeth with my sceptre, for I was master at sea, and will be duke on land. You, Mustacho, have been my mate, and shall be my viceroy.
When you are duke, you may choose your viceroy, but I am a free subject in a new plantation, and will have no duke without my voice, and so fill me the other sup.
Ventoso, dost thou hear? I will advance thee. Prithee, give me thy voice.
I'll have no whisperings to corrupt the election, and, to show that I have no private ends, I declare aloud that I will be viceroy, or I'll keep the voice for myself.
Stephano, hear me. I will speak for the people, because there are few, or rather none, in the isle to speak for themselves. Know, then, that to prevent the further shedding of Christian blood, we are all content Ventoso shall be viceroy, upon condition I may be viceroy over him. Speak, good people, are you well agreed? What? No men answer? Well, you may take their silence for consent.
You speak for the people, Mustacho. I'll speak for them, and declare generally with one voice, one and all, that there shall be no viceroy but the Duke, unless I be he.
You declare for the people, who never saw your face? Cold iron shall decide it.
Both draw. Hold, loving subjects. We will have no civil war during our reign. I do hereby appoint you both to be my viceroys, over the whole island.
Agreed.
Enter Trinculo with a great bottle, half drunk.
How, Trinculo, our brave boatswain?
He reels. Can he be drunk with sea water?
I shall no more to sea, here I shall die ashore. This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. But here's my comfort.
Drinks.
The master, the swabber, the gunner, and I, the surgeon and his mate, loved Moll, Meg, and Marian, and Marjorie. But none of us cared for Kate, for she had a tongue with a twang, would cry to a sailor, go hang. She loved not the savour of tar nor of pitch, yet a sailor might scratch her where she did itch. This is a scurvy tune too. But here's my comfort again.
Drinks.
We have got another subject now. Welcome, welcome into our dominions.
What subject or what dominions? Here's old Sack Boys. The king of good fellows can be no subject. I will be old Simon the king.
Ha, old boy, how didst thou escape?
Upon a butt of sack, boys, which the sailors threw overboard. But are you alive? For I will tipple with no ghosts till I'm dead. Thy hand, Mustacho, and thine, Ventoso. The storm has done its worst. Stephano alive too! Give thy boatswain thy hand, master.
You must kiss it then, for I must tell you we have chosen him Duke in a full assembly.
A Duke? Where? What's he the Duke of?
Of this island, man. Oh, Trinculo, we are all made. The island's empty. All's our own, boy, and we will speak to his grace for thee, that thou mayst be as great as we are.
You great? What the devil are you?
We two are viceroys over all the land, and when we are weary of governing, thou shalt succeed us.
Do you hear, Ventoso? I will succeed you in both places before you enter into them.
Trinculo, sleep and be sober, and make no more uproars in my country.
Why, what are you, sir? What are you?
What I am by free election, and you, Trinculo, are not yourself. But we pardon your first fault, because it is the first day of our reign.
Were matters carried so swimmingly against me, whilst I was swimming and saving myself for the good of the people of this island?
Art thou mad, Trinculo? Wilt thou disturb a settled government, where thou art a mere stranger to the laws of the country?
I'll have no laws.
The civil war begins.
Ventoso and Mustachio draw.
Hold, hold. I'll have no bloodshed. My subjects are but few. Let him make a rebellion by himself. And a rebel I, Duke Stephano, declare him. Viceroys, come away.
And Duke Trinculo declares that he will make open war wherever he meets thee or thy viceroys.
Exeunt Stephano, Mustachio, and Ventoso. Enter Caliban with wood upon his back.
Huh? Who have we here?
All the infections that the sun sucks up from fogs, fens, flats on Prospero fall, and make him by inch meal a disease. His spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse, but they'll not pinch, fright me with urchin shows, pinch me in the mire, nor lead me in the dark out of my way, unless he bid them. But for every trifle he sets them on me. Sometimes, like baboons, they mow and chatter at me, and often bite me. Like hedgehogs then, they mount their prickles at me, tumbling before me in my barefoot way. Sometimes I am wound all about with adders, who, with their cloven tongues, hiss me to madness. Yonder stands one of his spirits, sent to torment me.
What have we here? A man? Or a fish? This is some monster of the isle. Were I in England, as once I was, and had him painted, not a holiday fool there but would give me sixpence for the sight of him. Well, if I could make him tame, he were a present for an emperor. Come hither, pretty monster. I'll do thee no harm. Come hither.
Torment me not. I'll bring thee wood home faster.
Oh, he talks none of the wisest. But I'll give him a dram of the bottle, that will clear his understanding. Come your ways, Master Monster. Just, open your mouth. Well, how now, you perverse mooncalf? What, I think you cannot tell who is your friend. Open your chops, I say.
Pours wine down his throat.
This is a brave god, and bears celestial liquor. I'll kneel to him.
He is a very hopeful monster. Monster, what sayest thou? Art thou content to turn civil and sober as I am? For then thou shalt be my subject.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be true, for the liquor is not earthly. Didst thou not drop from heaven?
Only out of the moon. I was the man in her, when time was. By this light a very shallow monster.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the isle, and kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my god, and let me drink.
Drinks again.
Well drawn, monster, in good faith.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee, and get thee wood enough. A curse upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee.
Oh, the poor monster is loving in his drink.
I prithee, let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I, with my long nails, would dig thee pig nuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the marmoset. I'll bring thee to clustered filberts. Wilt thou go with me?
This monster comes of a good-natured race. Is there no more of thy kin in this island?
Divine, there is but one besides myself, my lovely sister, beautiful and bright as the full moon.
Where is she?
I left her clambering up a hollow oak, and plucking thence the dropping honeycombs. Say, my king, shall I call her to thee?
She shall swear upon the bottle too. If she proves handsome, she's mine. Here, monster, drink again for thy good news. Thou shalt speak a good word for me.
Gives him the bottle.
Farewell, old master. Farewell, farewell. No more dams I'll make for fish, nor fetching firing at requiring, nor scrape trencher, nor wash dish. Ban, Caliban, as a new master, get a new man. Hey day, freedom, freedom.
Oh, here's 2 subjects got already, the monster and his sister. Well, Duke Stephano, I say and say again, wars will ensue. And so I drink from this worshipful monster, and mistress monster, his sister. I'll lay claim to this island by alliance. Monster, I say, thy sister shall be my spouse. Come away, brother monster. I'll lead thee to my butt and drink her health.
Exeunt. Scene 2. Cypress trees and a cave. Enter Prospero alone.
'Tis not yet fit to let my daughters know I keep the infant Duke of Mantua so near them in this isle, whose father, dying, bequeathed him to my care, till my false brother, when he designed to usurp my kingdom from me, exposed him to that fate he meant for me. By calculation of his birth, I saw death threatening him, if, till some time were past, he should behold the face of any woman. And now the danger's nigh. Hippolito.
Enter Hippolito.
Sir, I attend your pleasure.
How I have loved thee from thy infancy, heaven knows, and thou thyself canst bear me witness. Therefore accuse not me for thy restraint.
Since I knew life, you have kept me in a rock. And you, this day, have hurried me from thence, only to change my prison, not to free me. I murmur not, but I may wonder at it.
O gentle youth, fate waits for thee abroad. A black star threatens thee, and death unseen stands ready to devour thee.
You taught me not to fear him in any of his shapes. Let me meet death rather than be a prisoner.
'Tis pity he should seize thy tender youth.
Sir, I have often heard you say, no creature lived within this isle, but those which man is lord of. Why, then, should I fear?
But here are creatures which I named not to thee, who share man's sovereignty by nature's laws, and oft depose him from it.
What are those creatures, sir?
Those dangerous enemies of men, called women.
Women? I never heard of them before. What are women like?
Imagine something between young men and angels, fatally beauteous, and have killing eyes. Their voices charm beyond the nightingales. They are all enchantment. Those who once behold them are made their slaves forever.
Then I will wink, and fight with them.
'Tis but in vain. They'll haunt you in your very sleep.
Then I will revenge it on them when I wake.
You are without all possibility of revenge. They are so beautiful that you can ne'er attempt nor wish to hurt them.
Are they so beautiful?
Calm sleep is not so soft, nor winter suns, nor summer shades so pleasant.
Can they be fairer than the plumes of swans? Or more delightful than the peacock's feathers? Or than the gloss upon the necks of doves? Or have more various beauty than the rainbow? These I have seen, and without danger wondered at.
All these are far below them. Nature made nothing but woman, dangerous and fair. Therefore, if you should chance to see them, avoid them straight, I charge you.
Well, since you say they are so dangerous, I will so far shun them, as I may with safety of the unblemished honour which you taught me. But let them not provoke me, for I am sure I shall not then forbear them.
Go in and read the book I gave you last. Tomorrow I may bring you better news.
I shall obey you, sir.
Exit Hippolyto.
So. I hope this lesson has secured him, for I have been constrained to change his lodging from yonder rock where first I bred him up, and here have brought him home to my own cell, because the shipwreck happened near his mansion. I hope he will not stir beyond his limits, for hitherto he hath been all obedience. The planets seem to smile on my designs, and yet there is one sullen cloud behind. I would it were dispersed.
Enter Miranda and Dorinda.
How, my daughters? I thought I had instructed them enough. Children, retire. Why do you walk this way?
It is within our bounds, sir.
But both take heed. That path is very dangerous. Remember what I told you.
Is the man that way, sir?
All that you can imagine ill is there. The curled lion and the rugged bear are not so dreadful as that man.
Oh me, why stay we here then?
I'll keep far enough from his den, I warrant him.
But you have told me, sir, you are a man, and yet you are not dreadful.
Ay, child, but I am a tame man. Old men are tame by nature, but all the danger lies in a wild young man.
Do they run wild about the woods?
No, they are wild within doors, in chambers, and in closets.
But, father, I would stroke them and make them gentle. Then sure they would not hurt me.
You must not trust them, child. No woman can come near them, but she feels a pain, full 9 months. Well, I must in, for new affairs require my presence. Be you, Miranda, your sister's guardian.
Exit Prospero.
Come, sister, shall we walk the other way? The man will catch us else. We have but 2 legs, and he perhaps has 4.
Well, sister, though he have, yet look about you, and we shall spy him ere he comes too near us.
Come back, that way is towards his den.
Let me alone. I'll venture first, for sure he can devour but one of us at once.
How dare you venture?
We'll find him sitting like a hare in swarm, and he shall not see us.
Ay, but you know my father charged us both.
But who shall tell him on't? We'll keep each other's counsel.
I dare not for the world.
But how shall we hereafter shun him if we do not know him first?
Nay, I confess I would fain see him too. I find it in my nature, because my father has forbidden me.
Ay, there's it, sister. If he had said nothing, I had been quiet. Go softly, and if you see him first, be quick and beckon me away.
Well, if he does catch me, I'll humble myself to him and ask him pardon, as I do my father when I have done a fault.
And if I can but escape with life, I had rather be in pain 9 months, as my father threatened, than lose my longing. Exeunt. Scene 3. Enter Hippolyto.
Prospero has often said that nature makes nothing in vain. Why then are the women made? Are they to suck the poison of the earth, as gaudy-coloured serpents are? I will ask that question when next I see him here.
Enter Miranda and Dorinda, peeping.
Oh, sister, there it is. It walks about like one of us.
Ay, just so, and as legs as we have too.
It strangely puzzles me. Yet 'tis most likely women are somewhat between men and spirits.
Hark, it talks. Sure this is not it my father meant, for this is just like one of us. Methinks I am not half so much afraid on't as I was. See now, it turns this way.
Heaven, what a goodly thing it is.
I'll go nearer it.
Oh no, 'tis dangerous, sister. I'll go to it. I would not for the world that you should venture. My father charged me to secure you from it.
I warrant you this is a tame man, dear sister. He'll not hurt me. I see it by his looks.
Indeed he will, but go back and he shall eat me first. Fie, are you not ashamed to be so much inquisitive?
You chide me for it and would give yourself.
Come back, or I will tell my father. Observe how he begins to stare already. I'll meet the danger first, and then call you.
Nay, sister, you shall never vanquish me in kindness. I'll venture you no more than you will me.
Prospero, within.
Miranda, child, where are you?
Do you not hear my father call? Go in.
'Twas you he named, not me. I will but say my prayers, and follow you immediately.
Well, sister, you'll repent it. Exit Miranda.
Though I die for it, I must have the other peep.
Hippolito, seeing her.
What thing is that? Sure 'tis some infant of the sun, dressed in his father's gayest beams, and comes to play with the birds. My sight is dazzled, and yet I find I am loth to shut my eyes. I must go nearer it. But stay a while. May it not be that beauteous murderer, woman, which I was charged to shun? Speak, what art thou, thou shining vision?
Alas, I know not, but I'm told I am a woman. Do not hurt me, pray, fair thing.
I would sooner tear my eyes out than consent to do you any harm, though I was told a woman was my enemy.
I never knew what 'twas to be an enemy, nor can I e'er prove so to that, which looks like you. For though I've been charged by him, whom yet I ne'er disobeyed, to shun your presence, yet I'd rather die than lose it. Therefore, I hope you will not have the heart to hurt me, though I fear you are a man, the dangerous thing of which I have been warned. Pray tell me what you are.
I must confess I was informed I am a man. But if I fright you, I shall wish I were some other creature. I was bid to fear you too.
Ay me, heaven grant that we be not poison to each other. Alas, can we not meet, but we must die?
I hope not so. When two poisonous creatures, both of the same kind, meet, yet neither dies. I have seen two serpents harmless to each other, though they are twined into a mutual knot. If we have any venom in us, sure, we cannot be more poisonous, when we meet, than the serpents are. You have a hand like mine. May I not gently touch it?
Takes her hand.
I've touched my father's and my sister's hands and felt no pain, but now, alas, there's something, when I touch yours, which makes me sigh. Just so, I've seen two turtles mourning when they met, yet mine's a pleasing grief, and so, methought, was theirs, for still they mourned, and still they seemed to murmur too, and yet they often met.
Oh, heavens! I have the same sense too. Your hand, methink, goes through me. I feel at my heart, and find it pleases, though it pains me.
Prospero, within.
Dorinda!
My father calls again. I must leave you.
Alas, I am subject to the same command.
This is my first offence against my father, which he, by severing us, too cruelly does punish.
And this is my first trespass too. But he hath more offended truth than we have him. He said our meeting would destructive be, but I know death, but in our parting, see.
Exeunt severally. Scene 4. A wild island. Enter Alonso, Antonio, and Gonzalo.
Beseech your grace, be merry. You have cause, so have we all, of joy for our strange escape. Then wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, peace. You cram these words into my ears against my stomach. How can I rejoice when my dear son, perhaps this very moment, is made a meal to some strange fish?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the billows under him and ride upon their backs. I do not doubt he came alive to land.
No, he's gone. And you and I, Antonio, were those who caused his death.
How could we help it?
Then we should have helped it, when thou betrayedst thy brother, Prospero, and Mantua's infant sovereign to my power, and when I, too ambitious, took by force another's right, then lost we Ferdinand, then forfeited our navy to this Tempest.
Indeed, we first broke truce with heaven, you to the waves an infant prince exposed, and on the waves have lost an only son. I did usurp my brother's fertile lands, and now am cast upon this desert isle.
These, sirs, 'tis true, were crimes of black dye, but both of you have made amends to heaven by your late voyage into Portugal, where, in defence of Christianity, your valour has repulsed the Moors of Spain.
Oh, name it not, Gonzalo. No act but penitence can expiate guilt. Must we teach heaven what price to set on murder, what rate on lawless power and wild ambition? Or dare we traffic with the powers above, and sell by weight a good deed for a bad?
A flourish of music.
Music, and in the air! Sure, we are shipwrecked on the dominions of some merry devil.
This isle's enchanted ground, for I have heard swift voices flying by my ear, and groans of lamenting ghosts.
I pulled a tree, and blood pursued my hand. Heaven deliver me from this dire place, and all the after actions of my life shall mark my penitence and my bounty.
Music again, louder.
Hark! The sounds approach us.
The stage opens in several places.
Lo, the earth opens to devour us quick! These dreadful horrors, and the guilty sense of my foul treason, have unmanned me quite.
We on the brink of swift destruction stand. No means of our escape is left.
Another flourish of voices under the stage.
Ah, what amazing sounds are these we hear!
What horrid mask will the dire fiends present?
Sung under the stage.
Where does the black fiend ambition reside with the mischievous devil of pride?
In the lowest and darkest caverns of hell, both pride and ambition do dwell.
Who are the chief leaders of the damned host?
Proud monarchs, who tyrannize most.
Damned princes there the worst of torments bear.
Who on earth all others in pleasure excel, must feel the worst torments of hell.
They rise, singing this chorus.
Oh, heavens, what horrid vision's this! How they upbraid us with our crimes!
What fearful vengeance is in store for us!
Tyrants by whom their subjects bleed should in pains all others exceed.
And barbarous monarchs who their neighbours invade, and their crowns unjustly get, and such who their brothers to death have betrayed, in hell upon burning thrones shall be set.
In hell, with flames they shall reign, and forever shall suffer the pain.
Oh, my soul, forever shall suffer the pain.
Has heaven, in all its infinite stock of mercy, no overflowings for us, poor, miserable, guilty men? Forever we shall perish. Oh, dismal words, forever!
Who are the pillars of the tyrant's court?
Rapine and murder his crown must support.
His cruelty does tread on orphans' tender breasts and brothers dead.
Can heaven permit such crimes should be attendant with felicity?
No, tyrants their sceptres uneasily bear. In the midst of their guards they their consciences fear.
Care their minds when they wake unquiet will keep, and we with dire vision disturb all their sleep.
Oh, a horrid sight, how they stare upon us! The fiend will hurry us to the dark mansion. Sweet heaven, have mercy on us!
Say, shall we bear these bold mortals from hence?
No, let us show their degrees of offence.
Let's muster their crimes upon every side, and first let's discover pride.
Enter Pride.
Lo, here is Pride who first led them astray, and did to ambition their minds then betray.
Enter Fraud.
And Fraud does next appear, their wandering steps who led, when they from virtue fled. They in my crooked paths their course did steer.
Enter Rapine.
From fraud to force they soon arrive, where rapine did their actions drive.
Enter Murder.
There long they could not stay. Down the steep hill they run, and to perfect the mischief which they had begun, to murder they bent all their way.
Around we pace, about this cursed place, while thus we compass in these mortals and their sin.
Devils vanish.
Heaven has heard me. They are vanished.
But they have left us all unmanned. I feel my sinews slacken with the fright, and a cold sweat thrills down o'er all my limbs, as if I were dissolving into water. O Prospero, my crimes against thee sit heavy on my heart.
And mine gainst him and young Hippolito.
Heaven have mercy on the penitent.
Lead us from this cursed ground. The seas in all their rage are not so dreadful. This is the region of despair and death.
Beware all fruit but what the birds have pecked. The shadows of the trees are poisonous too. A secret venom slides from every branch. My conscience does distract me. Oh, my son! Why do I speak of eating or repose before I know thy fortune?
As they are going out, a devil rises just before them, at which they start and are frighted.
Oh, heavens! Yet more apparitions!
Devil sings.
Arise, arise, ye subterranean winds, more to disturb their guilty minds, and all ye filthy damps and vapours rise, which use to infect the earth and trouble all the skies. Rise, you from whom devouring plagues have birth, you that in the vast and hollow womb of earth engender earthquakes, make whole countries shake and stately cities into deserts turn, and you who feed the flames by which earth's entrails burn. Ye raging winds whose rapid force can make all but the fixed and solid centre shake, come, drive these wretches to that part of the isle where nature never yet did smile. Cause fogs and storms, whirlwinds and earthquakes there. There let them howl and languish in despair. Rise and obey the powerful prince of the air.
2 winds rise, 10 more enter and dance. At the end of the dance, the winds sink. The rest drive Alonso, Antonio, and Gonzalo off. End of Act 2. Act 3 of The Tempest by William Davenant and John Dryden. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Act 3, Scene 1, A Wild Island. Enter Ferdinand and Ariel, and Milcha invisible.
Come unto these yellow sands, and then take hands, curtsied when you have, and kissed, and wild waves whist. Foot-it featly here and there, and sweet sprites the burthen bear. Hark! Hark! Bow wow the watch-dogs bark. Bow wow! Hark! Hark! I hear the strain of strutting chanticleer. Cry cock-a-doodle-doo.
Where should this music be? In the air or earth? It sounds no more, and sure it waits upon some god in the island. Sitting on a bank, weeping against the Duke my father's wreck, this music hovered on the waters, allaying both their fury and my passion with charming airs. Thence I have followed it, or it has drawn me rather, but 'tis gone. No, it begins again.
Full fathom 5 thy father lies, of his bones is coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him that does fade, but does suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. Sea nymphs hourly ring his knell. Hark! Now I hear them, ding-dong bell.
This mournful ditty mentions my drowned father. This is no mortal business, nor a sound which the earth owns. I hear it now before me. However, I will on, and follow it.
Exit Ferdinand, following Ariel. Scene 2. The cypress trees and cave. Enter Prospero and Miranda.
Excuse it not, Miranda, for to you, the elder, and, I thought, the more discreet, I gave the conduct of your sister's actions.
Sir, when you called me thence, I did not fail to mind her of her duty to depart.
How can I think you did remember hers when you forgot your own? Did you not see the man whom I commanded you to shun?
I must confess, I saw him at a distance.
Did not his eyes infect and poison you? What alteration found you in yourself?
I only wondered at a sight so new.
But have you no desire once more to see him? Come, tell me truly what you think of him.
As of the gayest thing I ever saw. So fine that it appeared more fit to be beloved than feared, and seemed so near my kind that I did think I might have called it sister.
You do not love it?
How is it likely that I should, except the thing had first loved me?
Cherish those thoughts. You have a generous soul, and since I see your mind not apt to take the light impressions of a sudden love, I will unfold a secret to your knowledge. That creature which you saw is of a kind which nature made a prop and guide to yours.
Why did you then propose him as an object of terror to my mind? You never used to teach me anything but godlike truths, and what you said I did believe as sacred.
I feared the pleasing form of this young man might unawares possess your tender breast, which for a nobler guest I had designed. For shortly, my Miranda, you shall see another of this kind, the full-blown flower, of which this youth was but the opening bud. Go in, and send your sister to me.
Heaven still preserve you, sir. Exit Miranda.
And make thee fortunate.
Enter Dorinda.
Oh, come hither. You have seen a man today against my strict command.
Who, I? Indeed I saw him but a little, sir.
Come, be clear. Your sister told me all.
Did she? Truly she would have seen him more than I, but that I would not let her.
Why so?
Because methought he would hurt me less than he would her. But if I knew you'd not be angry with me, I could tell you, sir, that he was much to blame.
Ah, was he to blame? Tell me, with that sincerity I taught you, how you became so bold to see the man.
I hope you will forgive me, sir, but I did not see him much till he saw me. Sir, he would needs come in my way and stared upon my face, and so I thought I would be revenged of him, and therefore I gazed on him as long. But if e'er I come near a man again—
I told you he was dangerous, but you would not be warned.
Pray be not angry, sir, if I tell you. You are mistaken in him, for he did me no great hurt.
But he may do you more harm hereafter.
No, sir, I'm as well as e'er I was in all my life, but that I cannot eat or drink for thought of him. That dangerous man runs ever in my mind.
The way to cure you is no more to see him.
Nay, pray, sir, say not so. I promised him to see him once again. And you know, sir, you charged me I should never break my promise.
Would you see him who did you so much mischief?
I warrant you, I did him as much harm as he did me. For when I left him, sir, he sighed so, as it grieved my heart to hear him.
Those sighs were poisonous. They infected you. You say they grieved you to the heart.
'Tis true, but yet his looks and words were gentle.
These are the daydreams of a maiden love, but still I fear the worst.
Oh, fear not him, sir.
You speak of him with too much passion. Tell me, and on your duty tell me true, Dorinda, what passed betwixt you and that horrid creature?
How horrid, sir? If any else but you should call it so, indeed I should be angry.
Go to, you are a foolish girl. But answer to what I ask. What thought you when you saw it?
At first it stared upon me and seemed wild, and then I trembled, yet it looked so lovely that when I would have fled away my feet seemed fastened to the ground. Then it drew near, and with amazement asked to touch my hand, which as a ransom for my life I gave. But when he had it in his furious grip, he put it to his mouth so eagerly, I was afraid he would have swallowed it.
Well, what was his behavior afterwards?
He on a sudden grew so tame and gentle that he became more kind to me than you are. Then, sir, I grew, I know not how, and touching his hand again, my heart did beat so strong as I lacked breath to answer what he asked.
You've been too fond, and I should chide you for it.
Then send me to that creature to be punished.
Poor child, thy passion like a lazy ague has seized thy blood. Instead of striving, thou humourest, and feedst thy languishing disease. Thou fight'st the battles of thy enemy, and 'tis one part of what I threatened thee not to perceive thy danger.
Danger, sir? If you would hurt me, yet he knows not how. He hath no claws, nor teeth, nor horns to hurt me, but looks about him like a callow bird, just straggled from the nest. Pray trust me, sir, to go to him again.
Since you will venture, I charge you, bear yourself reservedly to him. Let him not dare to touch your naked hand, but keep at distance from him.
This is hard.
It is the way to make him love you more. He will despise you if you grow too kind.
I'll struggle with my heart to follow this, but if I lose him by it, will you promise to bring him back again?
Fear not, Dorinda, but use him ill, and he'll be yours forever.
I hope you have not cozened me again.
Exit Dorinda.
Now my designs are gathering to a head. My spirits are obedient to my charms. What, Ariel? My servant Ariel, where art thou?
Enter Ariel.
What would my potent master? Here am I.
Thou and thy meaner fellows your last service did worthily perform, and I must use you in such another work. How goes the day?
On the 4th, my lord, and on the 6th you said our work should cease.
And so it shall, and thou shalt have the open air at freedom.
Thanks, my great lord.
But tell me first, my spirit, how fares the Duke, my brother, and their followers?
Confined together, as you gave me order, in the lime grove, which weather fens your cell. Within that circuit up and down they wander, but cannot stir one step beyond their compass.
How do they bear their sorrows?
The 2 dukes appear like men distracted, their attendants brim full of sorrow mourning over them. But chiefly he you termed the good Gonzalo, his tears run down his beard like winter drops from eaves of reeds. Your vision did so work them, that if you now beheld them your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, sir, if I were human.
And mine shall. Hast thou, who art but air, a touch, a feeling of their afflictions, and shall not I, a man like them, one who as sharply relish passions as they, be kindlier moved than thou art? Though they have pierced me to the quick with injuries, yet with my nobler reason gainst my fury I will take part. The rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. Go, my Ariel, refresh with needful food their famished bodies, with shows and cheerful music comfort them.
Presently, master.
With a twinkle, Ariel. But stay, my spirit, what is become of my slave Caliban and Sycorax his sister?
Potent sir, they have cast off your service, and revolted to the wrecked mariners who have already parcelled your island into governments.
No matter, I have now no need of them. But, spirit, now I stay thee on the wing, haste to perform what I have given in charge. But see they keep within the bounds I set them.
I'll keep them within walls of adamant, invisible as air to mortal eyes, but yet unpassable.
Make haste then.
Exeunt severally. Scene 3. A wild island. Enter Alonso, Antonio, and Gonzalo.
I am weary, and can go no further, sir.
O Lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself seized with a weariness to the dulling of my spirits.
They sit.
Even here I will put off my hope, and keep it no longer for my flatterers. He is drowned, whom thus we stray to find. I'm faint with hunger, and must despair of food.
Music without.
What? Harmony again? My good friends, hark!
I fear some other horrid apparition.
'Tis cheerful music, this, unlike the first.
Dry those eyes which are o'erflowing.
All your storms are overblowing.
While you in this isle are biding,
you shall feast without providing.
Every dainty you can think of, every wine which you would drink of, shall be yours.
All want shall shun you. Ceres' blessing is on you.
This voice speaks comfort to us.
Would 'twere come. There is no music in a song to me, my stomach being empty.
For a heavenly vision of boiled, baked, and roasted.
Dance of fantastic spirits. After the dance, a table furnished with meat and fruit is brought in by 2 spirits.
My lord, the Duke, see yonder, a table, as I live, set out and furnished with all varieties of meats and fruits.
'Tis so indeed. But who dares taste this feast, which fiends provide to poison us?
Why, that dare I. If the black gentleman be so ill-natured, he may do his pleasure.
'Tis certain we must either eat or famish. I will encounter it, and feed.
If both resolve, I will adventure too.
The devil may fright me, yet he shall not starve me.
2 spirits descend and fly away with the table.
Heaven! Behold, it is as you suspected. 'Tis vanished. Shall we be always hoarded with these fiends?
Here we shall wander till we famish.
Certainly one of you was so wicked as to say grace. This comes on when men will be godly out of season.
Yonder's another table. Let's try that.
Exeunt. Enter Trinculo and Caliban.
Brother Monster, welcome to my private palace. But, where's thy sister? Is she so brave, alas?
In all this isle there are but 2 more, the daughters of the tyrant Prospero, and she is bigger than them both. Oh, here she comes. Now thou mayst judge thyself, my lord.
Enter Sycorax.
Oh, she's monstrous. Fair, indeed. Is this to be my spouse? Well, she's heir of all this isle, for I will geld monster. The Trinculos, like other wise men, have anciently used to marry for estate more than for beauty.
I prithee, let me have the gay thing about thy neck, and that which dangles at thy wrist.
Sycorax points to his whistle and his bottle.
Oh, my dear blubber lips, this, observe, my chuck, is a badge of my sea office. Oh, my fair fuss, thou dost not know it.
No, my dread lord.
It shall be a whistle for our first babe, and when the next shipwreck puts me again to swimming, I'll dive to get a coral to it.
I'll be thy pretty child and wear it first.
I prithee, sweet baby, do not play the wanton and cry for my goods ere I'm dead. When thou art my widow, thou shalt have the devil and all.
May I not have the other fine thing?
Well, this is a sucking bottle for young Trinculo.
Shall she not taste of that immortal liquor?
Humph, that's another question. For if she be thus flippant in her water, what shall she be in her wine?
Enter Ariel, invisible, and changes the bottle which stands upon the ground.
There's water for your wine.
Exit Ariel.
Well, since it must be so.
Gives her the bottle.
How do you like it now, my queen, that must be?
She drinks.
Is this your heavenly liquor? I'll bring you to a river of the same.
Wilt thou so, Madam Monster? Oh, what a mighty prince shall I be then? I would not change my dukedom to be great Turk Trinculo.
This is the drink of frogs.
Nay, well, if the frogs of this island drink such, they are the merriest frogs in Christendom.
She does not know the virtue of this liquor. I prithee, let me drink for her.
Caliban drinks.
Well said, subject monster.
My lord, this is mere water.
'Tis thou hast changed the wine then, and drunk it up, like a debauched fish as thou art. Let me see it, I'll taste it myself. Element? Mere element, as I live! It was a cold gulp such as this which killed my famous predecessor, old Simon the King.
How does thy honour? Prithee, be not angry, and I will lick thy shoe.
I could find in my heart to turn thee out of my dominions for a licorice monster.
Oh, my lord, I have found it out. This must be done by one of Prospero's spirits.
Oh, there's nothing but malice in these devils. I would it had been holy water for their sakes.
'Tis no matter, I will cleave to thee.
Oh, lovingly said, in troth. Now I cannot hold out against her. This wife-like virtue of hers has overcome me.
Shall I have thee in my arms?
Thou shalt have Duke Trinculo in thy arms, but prithee, be not too boisterous with me at first. Do not discourage a young beginner.
They embrace.
Stand to your arms, my spouse and subject monster.
Enter Stephano, Mustachio, and Ventoso.
The enemy has come to surprise us in our quarters. You shall know, rebels, that I am married to a witch, and we have 1,000 spirits of our party.
Hold, I ask a truce. I and my viceroys, finding no food and but a small remainder of brandy, are come to treat a peace betwixt you, which may be for the good of both armies, and therefore, Trinculo, disband.
Plain Trinculo? Methinks I might have been a duke in your mouth. I'll not accept of your embassy without my title.
A title shall break no squares betwixt us. Viceroys, give him his style of duke, and treat with him while I walk by, in state.
Ventoso and Mustachio bow, whilst Trinculo puts on his cap.
Our lord and master, Duke Stephano, has sent us, in the first place, to demand of you, upon what ground you make war against him, having no right to govern here, as being elected only by your own voice.
To this I answer, that, having in the face of the world espoused the lawful inheritrix of this island, Queen Blouse the First, and having homage done me by this hectoring spark her brother, from these two I claim a lawful title to this island.
Who? That monster? Ye Hector?
Lo, how he mocks me. Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Viceroys, keep good tongues in your heads, I advise you, and proceed to your business.
First and foremost, as to your claim, that you have answered.
But second and foremost, we demand of you that if we make a peace, the but also may be comprehended in the treaty.
I cannot treat with my honour without your submission.
I understand, being present from my ambassadors, what your resolution is, and ask an hour's time of deliberation. and so I take our leave. But first I desire to be entertained at your butt, as becomes a prince and his ambassadors.
That I refuse, till acts of hostility be ceased. These rogues are rather spies than ambassadors. I must take heed of my butt. They come to pry into the secrets of my dukedom.
Trinculo, you are a barbarous prince, and so farewell.
Exeunt Stephano, Mustachio, and Ventoso.
Subject monster, stand you sentry before my cellar. My queen and I will enter and feast ourselves within.
Exeunt. Scene 4. Enter Ferdinand and Ariel and Milcha invisible.
How far will this invisible musician conduct my steps? He hovers still about me. Whether for good or ill I cannot tell, nor care I much, for I have been so long a slave to chance that I'm as weary of her flatteries as her frowns. But here I am.
Here I am.
Ha! Art thou so? The spirit's turned an echo. This might seem pleasant, could the burden of my griefs accord with anything but sighs, and my last words, like those of dying men, need no reply. Fain I would go to shades, where few would wish to follow me.
Follow me.
This evil spirit grows importunate, but I'll not take his counsel.
Take his counsel.
It may be the devil's counsel. I'll never take it.
Take it.
I will discourse no more with thee, nor follow one step further.
One step further.
This must have more importance than an echo. Some spirit tempts me to a precipice. I'll try if it will answer when I sing my sorrows to the murmurs of this brook. Go thy way.
Go thy way.
Why shouldst thou stay?
Why shouldst thou stay?
Where the winds whistle, and where the streams creep, under yonder willow tree fain would I sleep. Then let me alone, for 'tis time to be gone.
For 'tis time to be gone.
What cares or pleasures can be in this isle? Within this desert place there lives no human race. Fate cannot frown here, nor kind fortune smile.
Kind fortune smiles, and she has yet in store for thee some strange felicity. Follow me, and thou shalt see.
I'll take thy word for once. Lead on, musician.
Exeunt, and return. Scene 5. The cypress trees and caves. Scene changes and discovers Prospero and Miranda.
Advance the fringed curtains of thine eyes, and say what thou seest yonder.
Is it a spirit? Lord, how it looks about! Sir, I confess it carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit.
No, girl, it eats and sleeps and has such senses as we have. This young gallant whom thou seest was in the rack. Were he not somewhat stained with grief, beauty's worst canker, thou mightst call him a goodly person. He has lost his company, and strays about to find them.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble. Aside.
It goes on as my soul prompts it. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll free thee within 2 days for this.
She's sure the mistress on whom these airs attend. Fair excellence, if, as your form declares, you are divine, be pleased to instruct me how you will be worshipped. So bright a beauty cannot sure belong to humankind.
I am like you a mortal, if such you are.
My language too, oh heavens! I am the best of them who speak this speech when I'm in my own country.
How? The best? What wert thou if the Duke of Savoy heard thee?
As I am now, who wonders to hear thee speak of Savoy? He does hear me, and that he does I weep. Myself am Savoy, whose fatal eyes, ere since an ebb, beheld the Duke my father wrecked.
Alack for pity! Aside.
At the first sight they have changed eyes. Dear Ariel, I'll set thee free for this. Young sir, a word. With hazard of yourself you do me wrong.
Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the 3rd man that I saw, ere the first whom e'er I sighed for. Sweet heaven, move my father to be inclined my way.
Oh, if a virgin, and your affections not gone forth, I'll make you mistress of Savoy.
Soft, sir, one word more. They are in each other's power, but this swift business I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. One word more. Thou usurpedst the name not due to thee, and hast put thyself upon this island as a spy, to get the government from me, the lord of it.
No, as I'm a man.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. If the evil spirit hath so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell within it.
No more. Speak not for him. He's a traitor. Come, thou art my prisoner, and shalt be in bonds. Sea water shalt thou drink. Thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, withered roots and husks wherein the acorn cradled. Follow.
No, I will resist such entertainment till my enemy has more power.
He draws, and is charmed from moving. Oh, dear father, make not too rash a trial of him, for he's gentle and not fearful.
My child, my tutor, put thy sword up, traitor, who makest a show but darest not strike. Thy conscience is possessed with guilt. Come from thy ward, for I can here disarm thee with this wand, and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech you, father.
Hence, hang not on my garment.
Sir, have pity, I'll be his surety.
Silence! One word more shall make me chide thee, if not hate thee. What, an advocate for an impostor? Sure thou thinkest there are no more such shapes as his. To the most of men this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections are then most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again, and have no vigor in them.
So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. My father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wrack of all my friends, and this man's threats to whom I am subdued, would seem light to me, might I but once a day through my prison door behold this maid. All corners else of the earth let liberty make use of. I have space enough in such a prison.
It works. Come on, thou hast done well, fine Ariel. Follow me, hark what thou shalt more do for me.
Whispers Ariel. Be of comfort. My father's of a better nature, sir, than he appears by speech. This is unwonted which now came from him.
Thou shalt be free as mountain winds, but then exactly do all points of my command.
To a syllable.
Exit Ariel. Prospero, to Miranda.
Go in that way. Speak not a word for him. I'll separate you.
Exit Miranda.
As soon thou mayst divide the waters when thou strikest him, which pursue thy bootless blow, and meet when it is past.
Go practice your philosophy within, and if you are the same you speak yourself, bear your afflictions like a prince. That door shows you your lodging.
'Tis in vain to strive, I must obey.
Exit Ferdinand.
This goes as I would wish it. Now, for my second care, Hippolito. I shall not need to chide him for his fault. His passion is become his punishment. Come forth, Hippolito.
Enter Hippolito.
'Tis Prospero's voice.
Hippolito, I know you now expect I should severely chide you. You have seen a woman in contempt of my commands.
But, sir, you see, I am come off unharmed. I told you that you need not doubt my courage.
You think you have received no hurt?
No, none, sir. Try me again. Whenever you please I am ready. I think I cannot fear any army of them.
Aside.
How much in vain it is to bridle nature. Well, what was the success of your encounter?
Sir, we had none. We yielded both at first sight. For I took her to mercy, and she me.
But are you not much changed from what you were?
Methinks, I wish, and wish, for what I know not. But still I wish. Yet, if I had that woman, she, I believe, could tell me what I wish for.
What would you do to make that woman yours?
I would quit the rest of the world, that I might live alone with her. She never should be from me. We two would sit and look till our eyes ached.
You'd soon be weary of her.
Oh, sir, never.
But you'll grow old and wrinkled as you see me now, and then you will not care for her.
You may do what you please, but, sir, we two can never possibly grow old.
You must, Hippolito.
Whether we will or no, sir, who shall make us?
Nature, which made me so.
But you have told me that her works are various. She made you old, but she has made us young.
Time will convince you. Meanwhile, be sure you tread in honour's paths, that you may merit her, and that you may not want fit occasions to employ your virtue. In this next cave there is a stranger lodged, one of your kind, young, of a noble presence, and, as he says himself, of princely birth. He is my prisoner, and in deep affliction. Visit and comfort him. It will become you.
It is my duty, sir.
Exit Hippolito.
True, he has seen a woman, yet he lives. Perhaps I took the moment of his birth amiss. Perhaps my art itself is false. On what strange grounds we build our hopes and fears. Man's life is all a mist, and in the dark our fortunes meet us. If fate be not, then what can we foresee? Or how can we avoid it, if it be? If by free will in our own paths we move, how are we bounded by decrees above? Whether we drive, or whether we are driven, if ill, 'tis ours; if good, the act of heaven.
Exit. Scene 6. A cave. Enter Hippolito and Ferdinand.
Your pity, noble youth, doth much oblige me. Indeed, 'twas sad to lose a father so.
Ay, and an only father too, for sure. You said you had but one.
Aside.
But one father? He's wondrous simple.
Are such misfortunes frequent in your world, where many men live?
Such are we born to. But, gentle youth, as you have questioned me, so give me leave to ask you, what are you?
Do not you know?
How should I?
I well hoped I was a man, but by your ignorance of what I am, I fear it is not so. Well, Prospero, this is now the second time you have deceived me.
Sir, there is no doubt you are a man, but I would know of whence.
Why, of this world. I never was in yours.
Have you a father?
I was told I had one, and that he was a man. Yet I have been so much deceived, I dare not tell you for a truth. But I have still been kept a prisoner, for fear of women.
They indeed are dangerous, for since I came, I have beheld one here whose beauty pierced my heart.
How did she pierce? You seem not hurt.
Alas, the wound was made by her bright eyes, and festers by her absence. But, to speak plainer to you, sir, I love her.
Now, I suspect that love's the very thing that I feel too. Pray tell me truly, sir, are you not grown unquiet since you saw her?
I take no rest.
Just my disease. Do you not wish? You do not know for what?
Oh no, I know too well for what I wish.
There, I confess, I differ from you, sir. But you desire she may be always with you?
I can have no felicity without her.
Just my condition. Alas, gentle sir, I'll pity you, and you shall pity me.
I love so much that, if I have her not, I find I cannot live.
How? Do you love her? And would you have her too? That must not be, for none but I must have her.
But perhaps we do not love the same. All beauties are not pleasing alike to all.
Why? Are there more fair women, sir, besides that one I love?
That's a strange question. There are many more besides that beauty which you love.
I will have all of that kind, if there be 100 of them.
But, noble youth, you know not what you say.
Sir, they are things I love. I cannot be without them. Oh, how I rejoice! More women.
Sir, if you love, you must be tied to one.
Tied? How tied to her?
To love none but her.
But, sir, I find it against my nature. I must love where I like, and, I believe, I may like all that are fair. Come, bring me to this woman, for I must have her.
Aside.
His simplicity is such that I can scarce be angry with him. Perhaps, sweet youth, when you behold her, you will find you do not love her.
I find already I love, because she is another woman.
You cannot love two women both at once.
Sure, 'tis my duty to love all who do resemble her, whom I have already seen. I will have as many as I can, that are so good and angel-like as she I love, and will have yours.
Pretty youth, you cannot.
I can do anything for what I love.
I may perhaps by force restrain you from it.
Why, do so, if you can. But either promise me to love no woman, or you must try your force.
I cannot help it. I must love.
Well, you may have love, for Prospero taught me friendship too. You shall love me and other men, if you can find them. But all the angel women shall be mine.
Aside.
I must break off this conference, or he will urge me else beyond what I can bear. Sweet youth, some other time we will speak further concerning both our loves. At present I am indisposed with weariness and grief, and would, if you are pleased, retire a while.
Some other time be it. But, sir, remember that I both seek and much entreat your friendship. For next to women, I find I can love you.
I thank you, sir. I will consider of it.
Exit Ferdinand.
The stranger does insult, and comes into my world to take those heavenly beauties from me, which, I believe, I am inspired to love. And yet, he said, he did desire but one. He would be poor in love. But I will be rich. I will now perceive that Prospero was cunning. For when he frightened me from womankind, those precious things he for himself designed.
Exit. End of Act 3. Act 4 of The Tempest by William Davenant and John Dryden. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Act 4, Scene 1. Cypress trees and a cave. Enter Prospero and Miranda.
Your suit has pity in it, and has prevailed. Within this cave he lies, and you may see him. But yet take heed. Let prudence be your guide. You must not stay. Your visit must be short.
She's going.
One thing I had forgot. Insinuate into his mind a kindness to that youth whom first you saw. I would have friendship grow betwixt them. Be earnest to unite their very souls.
You shall be obeyed in all things.
This may secure Hippolito from that dark danger which my art forebodes, for friendship does provide a double strength to oppose the assaults of fortune.
I shall endeavor it. Exit Prospero. Enter Ferdinand.
To be a prisoner where I dearly love is but a double tie, a link of fortune joined to the chain of love. But not to see her, and yet to be so near her, there's the hardship. I feel myself as on a rack, stretched out and nigh the ground on which I might have ease, yet cannot reach it.
Sir, my lord, where are you?
Is it your voice, my love, or do I dream?
Speak softly. It is I.
O heavenly creature, 10 times more gentle than your father's cruel. How on a sudden all my griefs are vanished.
How do you bear your prison?
'Tis my palace while you are here, and love and silence wait upon our wishes. Do but think we choose it, and 'tis what we would choose.
I'm sure what I would. But how can I be certain that you love me? Look to it, for I will die when you are false. I've heard my father tell of maids who died and haunted their false lovers with their ghosts.
Your ghost must take another form to fright me. This shape will be too pleasing. Do I love you? O heaven, O earth, bear witness to this sound. If I prove false...
Oh, hold! You shall not swear, for heaven will hate you if you prove forsworn.
Did I not love, I could no more endure this undeserved captivity than I could wish to gain my freedom with the loss of you.
I am a fool, to weep at what I'm glad of. But I have a suit to you, and that, sir, shall be now the only trial of your love.
You've said enough never to be denied, were it my life, for you have far o'erbid the price of all that human life is worth.
Sir, 'tis to love one for my sake, who for his own deserves all the respect which you can ever pay him.
You mean your father. Do not think his usage can make me hate him. When he gave you being, he then did that which cancelled all these wrongs.
I meant not him, for that was a request, which if you love, I should not need to urge.
Is there another whom I ought to love, and love him for your sake?
Yes, such a one, who for his sweetness and his goodly shape, if I, who am unskilled in forms, may judge, I think can scarce be equalled. 'Tis a youth, a stranger too, as you are.
Of such a graceful feature. And must I, for your sake, love him?
Yes, sir. Do you scruple to grant the first request I ever made? He's wholly unacquainted with the world, and wants your conversation. You should have compassion on so mere a stranger.
Those need compassion whom you discommend, not whom you praise.
Come, you must love him for my sake. You shall.
Must I for yours, and cannot for my own? Either you do not love, or think that I do not, but when you bid me love him, I must hate him.
Have I so far offended you already, that he offends you only for my sake? Yet sure you would not hate him if you saw him as I've done, so full of youth and beauty. Aside.
When he did visit me, and I did mention this beauteous creature to him, he then did tell me he would have her.
Alas, what mean you? Aside.
It is too plain. Like most of her frail sex, she's false, and has not learned the art to hide it. Nature has done her part. She loves variety. Why did I think that any woman could be innocent because she's young? No, no. Their nurses teach them change when, with two nipples, they divide their liking.
I fear I have offended you, and yet I meant no harm. But if you please to hear me— A noise within. Hark, sir, now I am sure my father comes. I know his steps. Dear love, retire a while. I fear I've stayed too long.
Too long indeed, and yet not long enough. Oh, jealousy! Oh, love, how you distract me!
Exit Ferdinand. He appears displeased with that young man. I know not why. But till I find from whence his hate proceeds, I must conceal it from my father's knowledge. For he will think that guiltless I have caused it, and suffer me no more to see my love. Enter Prospero.
Now I have been indulgent to your wish. You have seen the prisoner?
Yes.
And he spake to you?
He spoke, but he received short answers from me.
How like you his converse?
At second sight a man does not appear so rare a creature. Aside.
I find she loves him much because she hides it. Love teaches cunning even to innocence. Well, go in.
Aside. Forgive me, truth, for thus disguising thee. If I can make him think I do not love the stranger much, he'll let me see him oftener. Exit Miranda.
Stay, stay. I had forgot to ask her what she has said of young Hippolito. Oh, here he comes, and with him my Dorinda. I'll not be seen. Let their loves grow in secret.
Exit. Enter Hippolito and Dorinda.
But why are you so sad?
But why are you so joyful?
I have within me all the various music of the woods. Since last I saw you, I have heard brave news. I will tell you, and make you joyful for me.
Sir, when I saw you first, I through my eyes drew something in. I know not what it is, but still it entertains me with such thoughts as makes me doubtful whether joy becomes me.
Pray believe me. As I am a man, I'll tell you blessed news. I have heard there are more women in the world, as fair as you are too.
Is this your news? You see it moves not me.
And I will have them all.
What will become of me then?
I'll have you too. But are you not acquainted with these women?
I never saw but one.
Is there but one here? This is a base, poor world. I will go to the other. I have heard men have abundance of them there. But, pray, where is that one woman?
Who, my sister?
Is she your sister? I am glad of that. You shall help me to her, and I love you for it.
Offers to take her hand.
Away, I will not have you touch my hand.
Aside.
My father's counsel which enjoined reservedness was not in vain, I see.
What makes you shun me?
You need not care, you'll have my sister's hand.
Why must not he, who touches hers, touch yours?
You mean to love her too?
Do not you love her? Then why should I not do so?
She is my sister, and therefore I must love her. But you cannot love both of us.
I warrant you I can. Oh, that you had more sisters.
You may love her, but then I'll not love you.
Oh, but you must. One is enough for you, but not for me.
My sister told me she had seen another, a man like you, and she liked only him. Therefore, if one must be enough for her, he is that one, and then you cannot have her.
If she like him, she may like both of us.
But how if I should change and like that man? Would you be willing to permit that change?
No, for you liked me first.
So you did me.
But I would never have you see that man. I cannot bear it.
I'll see neither of you.
Yes, me you may, for we are now acquainted. But he is the man of whom your father warned you. Oh, he is terrible, huge, monstrous creature. I am but a woman to him.
I will see him except you'll promise not to see my sister.
Yes, for your sake, I needs must see your sister.
But she's a terrible huge creature too. If I were not her sister, she would eat me. Therefore, take heed.
I heard that she was fair, and like you.
No, indeed, she's like my father with a great beard. 'Twould frighten you to look on her. Therefore that man and she may go together. They are fit for nobody but one another.
Hippolito, looking in.
Yonder he comes with glaring eyes. Fly, fly, before he sees you.
Must we part so soon?
You are a lost woman if you see him.
I would not willingly be lost, for fear you should not find me. I'll avoid him.
Exit Dorinda.
She fain would have deceived me, but I know her sister must be fair, for she is a woman. All of her kind that I have seen are like to one another. All the creatures of the rivers and the woods are so.
Enter Ferdinand.
Oh, well encountered. You are the happy man. You've got the hearts of both the beauteous women.
How, sir? Pray, are you sure on it?
One of them charged me to love you for her sake.
Then I must have her.
No, not till I am dead.
How, dead? What's that? But whatsoever it be, I long to have her.
Time and my grief may make me die.
But, for a friend, you should make haste. I never asked anything of you before.
I see your ignorance, and therefore will instruct you in my meaning. The woman whom I love saw you, and loved you. Now, sir, if you love her, you'll cause my death.
Be sure I will do it then.
But I am your friend, and I request you that you would not love her.
When friends request unreasonable things, sure they are to be denied. You say she is fair, and I must love all who are fair. For, to tell you a secret, sir, which I have lately found within myself, they are all made for me.
That's but a fond conceit. You are made for one, and one for you.
You cannot tell me, sir. I know I am made for 200 women. I mean, if there so many be in the world, so that, if once I see her, I shall love her.
Then do not see her.
Yes, sir, I must see her, for I should fain have my heart beat again, just as it did when I first saw her sister.
I find I must not let you see her, then.
How will you hinder me?
By force of arms.
By force of arms? My arms, perhaps, may be as strong as yours.
Aside.
He is still so ignorant that I pity him, and fain would avoid force. Pray do not see her. She was mine first. You have no right to her.
I have not yet considered what is right. But, sir, I know my inclinations are to love all women, and I have been taught that to dissemble what I think is base, in honour, then, of truth, I must declare that I do love, and will see your woman.
Will you be willing I should see and love your woman, and endeavour to seduce her from that affection which she vowed to you?
I would not you should do it, but if she should love you best, I cannot hinder her. But, sir, for fear she should, I will provide you against the worst, and try to get your woman.
But I pretend no claim at all to yours. Besides, you are more beautiful than I, and fitter to allure unpractised hearts. Therefore, I once more beg you will not see her.
I am glad you let me know I have such beauty. If that will get me women, they shall have it. As far as ever it will go, I will never want them.
Then, since you have refused this act of friendship, provide yourself a sword, for we must fight.
A sword? What's that?
Why, such a thing as this.
What should I do with it?
You must stand thus, and push against me while I push at you, till one of us falls dead.
This is brave sport. But we have no swords growing in our world.
What shall we do then to decide our quarrel?
We'll take the sword by turns, and fight with it.
Aside.
Strange ignorance. You must defend your life, and so must I. But, since you have no sword, take this.
Gives him his sword.
In a corner of my cave I found a rusty one. Perhaps 'twas his who keeps me prisoner here. That I will fit. When next we meet, prepare yourself to fight.
Make haste, then. This shall never be yours again. I mean to fight with all the men I meet, and when they are dead, their women shall be mine.
I see you are unskilful. I desire not to take your life. But, if you please, we'll fight on these conditions. He who first draws blood, or who can take the other's weapon from him, shall be acknowledged as the conqueror, and both the women shall be his.
Agreed. And every day I'll fight for 2 more with you.
But win these first.
I'll warrant you, I'll push you.
Exeunt severally. Scene 2. The Wild Island. Enter Trinculo, Caliban, and Sycorax.
My lord, I see 'em coming yonder.
What? Whom?
The starved prince, and his 2 thirsty subjects that would have our liquor.
If thou wert a monster of parts, I would make thee my master of ceremonies to conduct him in. Oh, the devil take all dunces. Thou hast lost a brave employment by not being a linguist, and for want of behaviour.
My lord, shall I go meet 'em? I'll be kind to all of 'em, just as I am to thee.
No, that's against the fundamental laws of my dukedom. You are the high place, spouse, and must give good example. Here they come. We'll put on the gravity of statesmen, and be very dull, that we may be held wise.
Enter Stephano, Ventoso, and Mustachio.
Duke Trinculo, we have considered.
Peace or war?
Peace, and the butt.
I come now as a private person, and promise to live peaceably under your government.
You shall enjoy the benefits of peace, and the first fruits of it, amongst all civil nations, is to be drunk for joy. Caliban, skink about.
Aside. I long to have aroused her grace's health, and to the house in Kelder, or rather haddock in Kelder, for I guess it will be half fish.
Subject Stephano, here's to thee, and let old quarrels be drowned in this draught.
Drinks. Great magistrate, here's thy sister's health to thee. Drinks to Caliban.
He shall not drink of that immortal liquor. My lord, let him drink water.
Oh, sweetheart, you must not shame yourself today. Oh, gentlemen subjects, pray bear with her good huswifery. She wants a little breeding, but she's hearty.
Ventoso, here's to thee. Is it not better to pierce the butt than to quarrel and pierce on another's bellies?
Let it come, boy.
Oh, now would I lay greatness aside and shake my heels, if I had but music.
Oh, my lord, my mother left us in her will 100 spirits to attend us, devils of all sorts. some great roaring devils, and some little singing sprites.
Shall we call, and thou shalt hear them in the air?
I accept the motion. Let us have our mother-in-law's legacy immediately.
We want music, we want mirth. Up, damn, and cleave the earth. We have no lords that wrong us. Send thy merry sprites among us.
What a merry tyrant am I, to have my music and pay nothing for it.
A table rises, and 4 spirits with wine and meat enter, placing it as they dance on the table. The dance ended, the bottles vanish, and the table sinks again.
The bottle's drunk.
Then the bottle's a weak, shallow fellow, if it be drunk first.
Stephano, give me thy hand. Thou hast been a rebel, but here's to thee.
Drinks.
Prithee, why should we quarrel? Shall I swear 2 oaths, by bottle and by butt? I love thee. In witness whereof, I drink soundly.
Your grace shall find there's no love lost, for I will pledge you soundly.
Thou hast been a false rebel, but that's all one. Pledge my grace faithfully. Caliban, go to the butt and tell me how it sounds.
Exit Caliban.
Pure Stephano, dost thou love me?
I love your grace, and all your princely family.
'Tis no matter if thou lovest me, hang my family. Thou art my friend. Prithee, tell me what thou thinkst of my princess.
I look on her as on a very noble princess.
Noble? Ha! Indeed, she had a witch in her mother. And the witches are of great families in Lapland. But the devil was her father. And I have heard of Monsieur de Ville in France. Ha! But look on her beauty. Is she a fit wife for Duke Trinculo? Mark her behaviour, too, as she's tippling yonder with the serving men.
And please your grace, she's somewhat homely, but that's no blemish to a princess. She is virtuous.
Huh! Virtuous? I am loath to disparage her, but thou art my friend. Canst thou be close?
As a stopped bottle, and please your grace. Enter Caliban again with a bottle.
Why then I'll tell thee. I found her an hour ago under an elder tree upon a sweet bed of nettles, singing Tory Rory and Rantham Scantham, with her own natural brother.
Oh, Jew! Make love in her own tribe?
But 'tis no matter. To tell thee true, I married her to be a great man and so forth. But make no words on't, for I care not who knows it. Give me the bottle, Caliban. Do you knock the butt? How does it sound?
It sounds as though it had a noise within.
Oh, I fear the butt begins to rattle in the throat and is departing. Give me the bottle.
Drinks.
A short life and a merry, I say.
Stephano whispers Sycorax.
But did he tell you so?
He said you were as ugly as your mother, and that he married you only to get possession of the island.
My mother's devils fetch him for it.
And your father's too. Skink about his grace's health again. Oh, if you will but cast an eye of pity upon me.
I will cast 2 eyes of pity on thee. I love thee more than whores or blackberries. I have a hoard of wildings in the moss. My brother knows not of 'em. But I'll bring thee where they are.
Trinculo was but my man, when time was.
Wert thou his god, and didst thou give him liquor?
I gave him brandy and drunk sack myself. Wilt thou leave him, and thou shalt be my princess?
If thou canst make me glad with this liquor.
I warrant thee, we'll ride into the country where it grows.
How wilt thou carry me thither?
Upon a hackney devil of thy mother's.
What's that you'll do? Ha! I hope you've not betrayed me.
To Sycorax.
How does my pig's nigh?
Begone. Thou shalt not be my lord, thou say'st I'm ugly.
Did you tell her so? Ha! He's a rogue. Do not believe him, Chuck.
The foul words were yours. I will not eat him up for you.
I see. If once a rebel, then ever a rebel. Did I receive thee into grace for this? I'll correct thee with my royal hand.
Strikes Stephano.
Dost thou hurt my love?
Flies at Trinculo.
Where are guards? Treason! Treason!
Ventoso, Mustachio, Caliban run betwixt.
Who took up arms first, the prince or the people?
This false traitor has corrupted the wife of my bosom.
Whispers Mustachio hastily.
Mustachio, strike on my side, and thou shalt be my viceroy.
I am against rebels. Ventoso, obey your viceroy.
You? A viceroy?
They too fight off from the rest.
Ha! Hector monster, do you stand neuter?
Thou wouldst drink my liquor. I will not help thee.
'Twas his doing that I had such a husband, but I'll claw him.
Sycorax and Caliban fight, Sycorax beating him off the stage.
The whole nation is up in arms, and shall I stand idle?
Trinculo beats off Stephano to the door. Exit Stephano.
I'll not pursue too far, for fear the enemy will rally again and surprise my butt in the citadel. Well, I must be rid of my lady Trinculo. She'll be in the fashion else. First cuckolded her husband, and then sue for a separation to get alimony.
Exit. Scene 4. The cypress trees and cave. Enter Ferdinand and Hippolito with their swords drawn.
Come, sir. Our cave affords no choice of place, but the ground's firm and even. Are you ready?
As ready as yourself, sir.
You remember on what conditions we must fight? Who first receives a wound is to submit.
Come, come. This loses time. No for the women, sir.
They fight a little. Ferdinand hurts him.
Sir, you are wounded.
No.
Believe your blood.
I feel no hurt. No matter for my blood.
Remember our conditions.
I will not leave till my sword hits you two.
Hippolito presses on. Ferdinand retires and wards.
I am loath to kill you. You are unskilful, sir.
You beat aside my sword, but let it come as near as yours, and you shall see my skill.
You faint for loss of blood. I see you stagger. Pray, sir, retire.
No, I'll never go back. Methinks the cave turns around. I cannot find...
Your eyes begin to dazzle.
Why do you swim so, and dance about me? Stand but still, till I have made one thrust.
Hippolito thrusts and falls.
Oh, help! 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 Unhappy man, what have I done?
I am going to a cold sleep, but when I wake, I'll fight again. Pray, stay for me.
Swoons.
He's gone! He's gone! Oh, stay, sweet lovely youth! Help! Help!
Enter Prospero.
What dismal noise is that?
Oh, see, sir! See what mischief my unhappy hand has wrought!
Alas! How much in vain doth feeble art endeavour to resist the will of heaven.
Rubs Hippolito.
He's gone for ever. O thou cruel son of an inhuman father! All my designs are ruined and unravelled by this blow. No pleasure now is left me but revenge.
Sir, if you knew my innocence.
Peace, peace! Can thy excuses give me back his life? What, Ariel, sluggish spirit, where art thou?
Enter Ariel.
Here, at thy beck, my lord.
Ay, now thou comest when fate is past and not to be recalled. Look there, and glut the malice of thy nature, for as thou art thyself, thou canst not but be glad to see young virtue nipped in a blossom.
My lord, the being high above can witness I am not glad. We airy spirits are not of a temper so malicious as the earthy, but of a nature more approaching good, for which we meet in swarms, and often combat betwixt the confines of the air and earth.
Why didst thou not prevent, at least foretell, this fatal action, then?
Pardon, great sir, I meant to do it, but I was forbidden by the evil genius of Hippolito, who came and threatened me, if I disclosed it, to bind me in the bottom of the sea, far from the lightsome regions of the air, my native fields, above 100 years.
I'll chain thee in the north for thy neglect, within the burning bowels of Mount Hecla. I'll singe thy airy wings with sulphurous flames, and choke thy tender nostrils with blue smoke. At every hiccup of the belching mountain thou shalt be lifted up to taste fresh air, and then fall down again.
Pardon, dread lord.
No more of pardon than just heaven intends thee shalt thou ever find from me. Hence, fly with speed, unbind the charms which hold this murderer's father, and bring him, with my brother, straight before me.
Mercy, my potent lord, and I'll outfly thy thought.
Exit Ariel.
O heavens! What words are these I heard, yet cannot see who spoke 'em? Sure the woman whom I loved was like this, some airy vision.
No, murderer, she's like thee, of mortal mould, but much too pure to mix with thy black crimes. Yet she has faults, and must be punished for them. Miranda and Dorinda, where are ye? The will of heaven's accomplished. I have now no more to fear, and nothing left to hope. Now you may enter.
Enter Miranda and Dorinda. My love, is it permitted me to see you once again?
You come to look your last. I will forever take him from your eyes. But, on my blessing, speak not, nor approach him.
Pray, father, is not this my sister's man? He has a noble form, but yet he's not so excellent as my Hippolito.
Alas, poor girl, thou hast no man. Look yonder. There's all of him that's left.
Why, was there ever any more of him? He lies asleep, sir. Shall I waken him?
She kneels by Hippolito and jogs him.
Alas, he's never to be waked again.
My love, wilt thou not speak to me? I fear you have displeased him, sir, and now he will not answer me. He's dumb, and cold too, but I'll run straight and make a fire to warm him.
Exit Dorinda, running. Enter Alonso, Gonzalo, Antonio, and Ariel invisible.
Never were beasts so hunted into toils as we have been pursued by dreadful shapes. But is that not my son? Oh, Ferdinand, if thou art not a ghost, let me embrace thee.
My father! Oh, sinister happiness! Is it decreed I should recover you alive, just in that fatal hour when this brave youth is lost in death, and by my hand?
Heaven, what new wonder's this?
This isle is full of nothing else.
You stare upon me as you ne'er had seen me. Have 15 years so lost me to your knowledge that you retain no memory of Prospero?
The good old Duke of Milan?
I wonder less that thou, Antonio, knowest me not, because thou didst long since forget I was thy brother, else I had ne'er been here.
Shame chokes my words.
And wonder mine.
To Alonso.
For you, usurping prince, know, by my art you were shipwrecked on this isle, where, after I a while had punished you, my vengeance would have ended. I designed to match that son of yours with this my daughter.
Pursue it still, I am most willing to it.
So am not I. No marriages can prosper which are with murders made. Look on that corpse. This, whilst he lived, was young Hippolito, that infant Duke of Mantua, sir, whom you exposed with me, and here I bred him up, till that bloodthirsty man, that Ferdinand— But why do I exclaim on him, when justice calls to unsheath her sword against his guilt?
What do you mean?
To execute heaven's laws. Here I am placed by heaven, here I am prince, though you have dispossessed me of my Milan. Blood calls for blood. Your Ferdinand shall die, and I, in bitterness, have sent for you to have the sudden joy of seeing him alive, and then the greater grief to see him die.
And think'st thou I, or these, will tamely stand to view the execution?
Lays hand upon his sword.
Hold, dear father, I cannot suffer you to attempt against his life, who gave her being, whom I love.
Nay, then, appear my guards. I thought no more to use their aid. I'm cursed because I used it.
He stamps, and many spirits appear.
But they are now the ministers of heaven, whilst I revenge this murder.
Have I for this found thee, my son, so soon again to lose thee? Antonio, Gonzalo, speak for pity.
Adieu, my fairest mistress.
Now I can hold no longer. I must speak, though I am loath to disobey you, sir. Be not so cruel to the man I love, or be so kind to let me suffer with him.
Recall that prayer, or I shall wish to live, though death be all the amends that I can make.
This night I will allow you, Ferdinand, to fit you for your death. That cave's your prison.
Ah, Prospero, hear me speak. You are a father. Look on my age, and look upon his youth.
No more. All you can say is urged in vain. I have no room for pity left within me. Do you refuse? Help Ariel with your fellows to drive them in. Alonso and his son bestow in yonder cave, and here Gonzalo shall with Antonio lodge.
Spirits drive them in, as they are appointed. Enter Dorinda.
Sir, I have made a fire. Shall he be warmed?
He's dead, and vital warmth will ne'er return.
Dead, sir? What's that?
His soul has left his body.
When will it come again?
Oh, never, never. He must be laid in earth, and there consume.
He shall not lie in earth. You do not know how well he loves me. Indeed, he'll come again. He told me he would go a little while, but promised me he would not tarry long.
He's murdered by the man who loved your sister. Now both of you may see what 'tis to break a father's precept. You would needs see man, and by that sight are made forever wretched. Hippolito is dead, and Ferdinand must die for murdering him.
Have you no pity?
Your disobedience has so much incensed me that I this night can leave no blessing with you. Help to convey the body to my couch, then leave me to mourn over it alone.
They bear off the body of Hippolito. Enter Miranda and Dorinda again, Ariel behind them.
I've been so chid for my neglect by Prospero that I must now watch all and be unseen.
Sister, I say again, 'twas long of you that all this mischief happened.
Blame not me for your own fault. Your curiosity brought me to see the man.
You safely might have seen him and retired, but you would needs go near him and converse. You may remember my father called me thence, and I called you.
That was your envy, sister, not your love. You called me thence because you could not be alone with him yourself. But I am sure my man had never gone to heaven so soon, but that yours made him go.
Sister, I could not wish that either of them should go to heaven without us, but it was his fortune, and you must be satisfied.
I'll not be satisfied. My father says he'll make your man as cold as mine is now. And when he is made cold, my father will not let you strive to make him warm again.
In spite of you, mine shall ne'er be cold.
I'm sure 'twas he that made me miserable, and I will be revenged. Perhaps you think 'tis nothing to lose a man.
Yes, but there is some difference betwixt my Ferdinand and your Hippolito.
Aye, there's your judgment. Yours is the oldest man I ever saw, except it were my father.
Oh, sister, no more. It is not comely in a daughter when she says her father's old.
But why do I stay here, whilst my cold love perhaps may want me? I'll pray my father to make yours cold too.
Oh, sister, I'll never sleep with you again.
I'll never more meet in a bed with you, but lodge on the bare ground and watch my love.
And at the entrance of that cave I'll lie, and echo to each blast of wind a sigh. Exeunt severally, looking discontentedly on one another.
Harsh discord reigns throughout this fair isle, at which good angels mourn, ill spirits smile. Old Prospero, his daughters robbed of rest, has in displeasure left them both unblessed. Unkindly they abjure each other's bed, to save the living and revenge the dead. Alonso and his son are prisoners made, and good Gonzalo does their crimes upbraid. Antonio and Gonzalo disagree, and would, though in one cave, at distance be. The seamen all that cursed wine have spent, which still renew their thirst of government, And wanting subjects for the food of power, each would to rule alone, the rest devour. The monsters, sycorax and Caliban, more monstrous grow by passions learned from man. Even I, not framed of warring elements, partake and suffer in these discontents. Why should a mortal by enchantments hold in chains a spirit of ethereal mould? Accursed magic we ourselves have taught, and our own power has our subjugations wrought.
Exit. End of Act 4. Act 5 of The Tempest by William Davenant and John Dryden. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Act 5, Scene 1. Enter Prospero and Miranda.
You beg in vain. I cannot pardon him. He has offended heaven.
Then let heaven punish him.
It will, by me.
Grant him at least some respite for my sake.
I, by deferring justice, should incense the deity against myself and you.
Yet I have heard you say the powers above are slow in punishing, and should not you resemble them?
The argument is weak, but I want time to let you see your errors. Retire, and if you love him, pray for him.
He's going. And can you be his judge and executioner?
I cannot force Gonzalo, or my brother, much less the father, to destroy the son. It must then be the monster Caliban, and he's not here, but Ariel straight shall fetch him.
Enter Ariel.
My potent lord, before thou callest, I come to serve thy will.
Then, spirit, fetch me here my salvage slave.
My lord, it does not need.
Art thou then prone to mischief? Wilt thou be thyself the executioner?
Think better of thy airy minister, who for thy sake unbidden this night has flown o'er almost all the habitable world.
But to what purpose was all thy diligence?
When I was chidden by my mighty lord for my neglect of young Hippolito, I went to view his body, and soon found his soul was but retired, not sallied out. Then I collected the best of simples underneath the moon, the best of balms, and to the wound applied the healing juice of vulnerary herbs. His only danger was his loss of blood. But now he's waked, my lord, and just this hour he must be dressed again as I have done it. Anoint the sword which pierced him with this weapon slave, and wrap it close from air, till I have time to visit him again.
Thou art my faithful servant. It shall be done. Be it your task, Miranda, because your sister is not present here, while I go visit your dear Ferdinand, from whom I will awhile conceal the news, that it may be more welcome.
I obey you, and with a double duty, sir, for now you twice have given me life.
My Ariel, follow me.
Exeunt severally. Scene 2. Hippolito discovered on a couch, Dorinda by him.
How do you find yourself?
I am somewhat cold. Can you not draw me nearer to the sun? I am too weak to walk.
My love, I'll try.
She draws the chair nearer the audience.
I thought you never would have walked again. They told me you were gone to heaven. Have you been there?
I know not where I was.
I will not leave till you promise me you will not die again.
Indeed, I will not.
You must not go to heaven unless we go together, for I have heard my father say that we must strive to be each other's guide. The way to it will else be difficult, especially to those who are so young. But I much wonder what it is to die.
Sure, 'tis to dream, a kind of breathless sleep, where once the soul's gone out.
What is the soul?
A small blue thing that runs about within us.
Then I have seen it in a frosty morning, run smoking from my mouth.
But, dear Dorinda, what has become of him who fought with me?
Oh, I can tell you joyful news of him. My father means to make him die today, for what he did to you.
That must not be. My dear Dorinda, go and beg your father. He may not die. It was my fault he hurt me. I urged him to it first.
But if he live, he'll never leave killing you.
Oh, no. I just remember when I fell asleep, I heard him calling me great way off, and crying over me as you would do. Besides, we have no cause to quarrel now.
Pray, how began your difference first?
I fought with him for all the women in the world.
That hurt you had was justly sent from heaven, for wishing to have any more but me.
Indeed, I think it was. But I repented. The fault was only in my blood. For now 'tis gone, I find I do not love so many.
In confidence of this, I'll beg my father that he may live. I'm glad the naughty blood that made you love so many is gone out.
My dear, go quickly, lest you come too late.
Exit Dorinda. Enter Miranda at the other door with Hippolyto's sword wrapped up.
Who is this, who looks so fair and beautiful, as nothing but Dorinda can surpass her? Oh, I believe it is that angel woman whom she calls sister.
Sir, I am sent hither to dress your wound. How do you find your strength?
Fair creature, I am faint with loss of blood.
I'm sorry for it.
Indeed, and so am I. For if I had that blood, I then should find a great delight in loving you.
But, sir, I am another's, and your love is given already to my sister.
Yet I find that, if you please, I can love still a little.
I cannot be unconstant, nor should you.
Oh, my wound pains me.
I am come to ease you. She unwraps the sword.
Alas, I feel the cold air come to me. My wound shoots worse than ever.
She wipes and anoints the sword.
Now, methinks, there is something laid just upon it.
Do you find no ease?
Yes, yes, upon the sudden, all the pain is leaving me. Sweet heaven, how I am eased!
Enter Ferdinand and Dorinda to them. Ferdinand to Dorinda.
Madam, I must confess my life is yours. I owe it to your generosity.
I am o'erjoyed my father lets you live, and proud of my good fortune that he gave your life to me.
How? Gave his life to her?
Alas, I think she said so, and he said, he owed it to her generosity.
But is that not your sister with Hippolyto?
So kind already.
I came to welcome life, and I have met the cruelest of deaths.
My dear Dorinda, with another man?
Sister, what business have you here?
You see I dress Hippolyto.
You're very charitable to a stranger.
You are not much behind in charity to beg a pardon for a man whom you scarce ever saw before.
Henceforth let your surgery alone, for I had rather he should die than you should cure his wound.
And I wish Ferdinand had died before he owed his life to your entreaty. Ferdinand to Hippolyto.
Sir, I am glad you are so well recovered. You keep your humour still to have all women?
Not all, sir. You accept one of the number. Your new love there, Dorinda.
Oh, Ferdinand, can you become inconstant? If I must lose you, I had rather death should take you from me than you take yourself.
And if I might have chosen, I would have wished that death from Prospero, and not this from you.
Ay, now I find why I was sent away, that you might have my sister's company.
Dorinda, kill me not with your unkindness. This is too much. First to be false yourself, and then accuse me too.
We all accuse each other, and each one denies their guilt. I should be glad if it were a mutual error, and therefore, first to clear myself from fault.
To Dorinda.
Madam, I beg your pardon, while I say, I only love your sister.
Oh, blessed word! I'm sure I love no man but Ferdinand.
Nor I, heaven knows, but my Hippolyto.
I never knew I loved so much. Before I feared Dorinda's constancy, but now I am convinced that I loved none but her, but none else can recompense her loss.
'Twas happy then we had this little trial, but how we all so much mistook I know not.
I have only this to say in my defence. My father sent me hither to attend the wounded stranger.
And Hippolyto sent me to beg the life of Ferdinand.
From such small errors, left at first unheeded, have often sprung sad accidents in love. But see, our fathers and our friends are come to mix their joys with ours.
Enter Prospero, Alonso, Antonio, and Gonzalo. Alonso to Prospero.
Let it no more be thought of. Your purpose, though it was severe, was just. In losing Ferdinand, I should have mourned, but could not have complained.
Sir, I am glad kind heaven decreed it otherwise.
Oh, wonder! How many goodly creatures are there here! How beauteous mankind is!
Oh, brave new world, that has such people in it.
Alonso to Ferdinand.
Now all the blessings of a glad father compass thee about, and make thee happy in thy beauteous choice.
I've inward wept, or should have spoken ere this. Look down, sweet heaven, and on this couple drop a blessed crown, for it is you who chalked out the way which brought us hither.
Though penitence forced by necessity can scarce seem real, yet, dearest brother, I have hope my blood may plead for pardon with you. I resign dominion which, 'tis true, I could not keep, but heaven knows too I would not.
All past crimes I bury in the joy of this blessed day.
And that I may not be behind in justice, to this young prince I render back his dukedom, and as the Duke of Mantua thus salute him.
What is it that you render back? Methinks you give me nothing.
You are to be lord of a great people, and over towns and cities.
And shall these people be all men and women?
Yes, and shall call you lord.
Why, then, I'll live no longer in a prison, but have a whole cave to myself hereafter.
And that your happiness may be complete, I give you my Dorinda for your wife. She shall be yours forever when the priest has made you one.
How can he make us one? Shall I grow to her?
By saying holy words, you shall be joined in marriage to each other.
I warrant you, those holy words are charms. My father means to conjure us together.
To his daughters.
My Ariel told me when last night you quarrelled, you said you would forever part your beds. But what you threatened in your anger, heaven has turned to prophecy. For you, Miranda, must with Ferdinand, and you, Dorinda, with Hippolito, lie in one bed hereafter.
And heaven make those beds still fruitful in producing children, to bless their parents' youth and grandsires' age.
Miranda to Dorinda. If children come by lying in a bed, I wonder you and I had none between us.
Sister, it was our fault. We meant like fools to look 'em in the fields, and they, it seems, are only found in beds.
I am overjoyed that I shall have Dorinda in a bed. We'll lie all night and day together there, and never rise again.
Aside to him.
Hippolito, you yet are ignorant of your great happiness. But there is somewhat which, for your own and fair Dorinda's sake, I must instruct you in.
Pray, teach me quickly how men and women in your world make love. I shall soon learn, I warrant you.
Enter Ariel, driving in Stephano, Trinculo, Mustachio, Ventoso, Caliban, and Sycorax.
Why, that's my dainty Ariel. I shall miss thee, but yet thou shalt have freedom.
Look, sir, look, the master and the sailors, and boatswain too. My prophecy is out, that if a gallows were on land, that man could ne'er be drowned.
To Trinculo.
Now, blasphemy! What, not one oath ashore? Hast thou no mouth by land? Why starest thou so?
What? More dukes yet? I must resign my dukedom. But 'tis no matter, I was almost starved, and...
Here's nothing but wild salads, without oil or vinegar.
The Duke and Prince alive? Oh, would I had now our gallant ship again, and were her master. I'd willingly give all my island for her.
And I my viceroyship.
I shall need no hangman, for I shall e'en hang myself, now my friend Butt has shed his last drop of life. Poor Butt! is quite departed.
They talk like madmen.
No matter. Time will bring 'em to themselves. And now their wine is gone, they will not quarrel. Your ship is safe and tight and bravely rigged as when you first set sail.
This news is wonderful.
Was it well done, my lord?
Rarely, my diligence.
But pray, sir, what are those misshapen creatures?
Their mother was a witch, and one so strong she would control the moon, make flows and ebbs, and deal in her command without her power.
Oh, Setibos, these be brave sprites indeed.
To Caliban.
Go, Sirrah, to my cell, and as you hope for pardon, trim it up.
Most carefully. I will be wise hereafter. What a dull fool I was to take those drunkards for gods, when such as these were in the world.
Sir, I invite your highness and your train to my poor cave this night, a part of which I will employ in telling you my story.
No doubt it must be strangely taking, sir.
When the morn draws, I'll bring you to your ship, and promise you calm seas and happy gales. My Ariel, that's thy charge. Then to the elements be free, and fare thee well.
I'll do it, master.
Now, to make amends for the rough treatment you have found today, I'll entertain you with my magic art. I'll, by my power, transform this place, and call up those that shall make good my promise to you.
Scene 2. Changes to the rocks with the arch of rocks and calm sea. Music playing on the rocks.
Neptune and your fair Amphitrite rise. Oceanus, with your Tethys too, appear. All ye sea gods and goddesses appear. Come, all ye Tritons, all ye Nereids, come, and teach your saucy element to obey. For you have princes now to entertain, and unsoiled beauties with fresh youthful lovers.
Neptune, Amphitrite, Oceanus, and Tethys appear in a chariot drawn with sea-horses. On each side of the chariot, sea gods and goddesses, Tritons, and Nereids.
This is prodigious.
Ah, what amazing objects do we see!
This art doth much exceed all human skill.
My lord, great Neptune, for my sake of these bright beauties pity take, and to the rest allow your mercy too. Let this enraged element be still. Let Aeolus obey my will. Let him his boisterous prisoners safely keep in their dark caverns, and no more let them disturb the bosom of the deep, till these arrive upon their wished-for shore.
So much my Amphitrite's love I prize, that no commands of hers I can despise. Tethys no furrows now shall wear, Oceanus no wrinkles on his brow. Let your serenest looks appear, be calm and gentle now.
Be calm, ye great parents of the floods and the springs, while each Nereid and Triton plays, revels, and sings.
Confine the roaring winds, and we will soon obey you cheerfully.
Here the dancers mingle with the singers.
Tie up the winds and we'll obey, upon the floods we'll sing and play, and celebrate a halcyon day.
Great nephew, Aeolus, make no noise, muzzle your roaming boys.
Aeolus appears.
Let them not bluster to disturb our ears, or strike these noble passengers with fears.
Afford 'em only such an easy gale, as pleasantly may swell each sail.
While fell sea monsters cause intestine jars, this empire you invade by foreign wars.
But you shall now be still, and shall obey my Amphitrite's will.
Aeolus descends.
You I'll obey, who at one stroke can make with your dread tridents the whole earth to quake.
Come down, my blusters, swell no more, your storm rage give o'er. Let all black tempests cease, and let the troubled ocean rest. Let all the sea enjoy as calm a peace, as where the halcyon builds her quiet nest.
Winds from the four corners appear.
To your prisons below, down, down you must go. You in the earth's entrails your revels may keep, but no more till I call shall you trouble the deep.
Winds fly down.
Now they are gone, all stormy wars shall cease. Then let your trumpeters proclaim a peace.
Tritons, my sons, your trumpets sound, and let the noise from neighbouring shores rebound.
Sound a calm, sound a calm, sound a calm, a calm, sound a calm.
Hear the Tritons at every repeat of sound a calm, changing their figure and postures, seem to sound their wreathed trumpets made of shells. A short symphony of music, like trumpets, to which 4 Tritons dance.
See, see the heavens smile, all your troubles are past. Your joys, by black clouds, shall no more be overcast.
On this barren isle ye shall lose all your fears, leave behind all your sorrows, and banish your cares.
And your loves and your lives shall in safety enjoy. No influence of stars shall your quiet destroy. We'll safely convey you to your own happy shore, and yours and your country's soft peace will restore.
To treat you, blessed lovers, as you sail on the deep, the Tritons and sea nymphs their revels shall keep. On the swift dolphins' backs they shall sing and shall play. They shall guard you by night, and delight you by day.
A dance of 12 Tritons. What charming things these are!
What heavenly power is this?
Now, my Ariel, be visible, and let the rest of your aerial train appear, and entertain them with a song, and then farewell, my long-loved Ariel.
Scene changes to the rising sun and a number of aerial spirits in the air. Ariel, flying from the sun, advances towards the pit.
Heaven! What are these we see?
They are spirits, with which the air abounds in swarms, but that they are not subject to poor feeble mortal eyes.
Oh, wondrous skill!
Power divine!
Where the bee sucks, there suck I. In the cowslip's bed I lie. There I couch when owls do cry. On the swallow's wings I fly, after summer merrily. Merrily, merrily shall I live now, under blossom that hangs on the bough.
Song ended, Ariel speaks, hovering in the air.
My noble master, may theirs and your blessed joys never impair, and for the freedom I enjoy in air, I will still be your Ariel, and wait on airy accidents that work for fate. Whatever shall your happiness concern, from your still faithful Ariel you shall learn.
Thou hast been always diligent and kind. Farewell, my long-loved Ariel. Thou shalt find I will preserve thee ever in my mind. Henceforth this isle to the afflicted be a place of refuge, as it was to me. The promises of blooming spring live here, and all the blessings of the ripening year. On my retreat let heaven and nature smile, and ever flourish the enchanted isle.
Exeunt. Epilogue. Gallants, by all good signs it does appear that 67's a very damning year, for knaves abroad and for ill poets here. Among the muses there's a general rot, the rhyming monsieur and the Spanish plot. Defy or court, all's one, they go to pot. The ghosts of poets walk within this place, and haunt us actors wheresoe'er we pass, in visions bloodier than King Richard's was. For this poor wretch he has not much to say, but quietly brings in his part of the play, and begs the favour to be damned to-day. He sends me only like a sheriff's man here, to let you know the malefactor's near, and that he means to die en cavalier. For if you should be gracious to his pen, the example will prove ill to other men, and you'll be troubled with them all again. End of Act 5. End of The Tempest by William Davenant and John Dryden.